What's good, everybody? It's your UncleSamsReject here, and welcome back to the channel, boys. And we are back with another video. And today we are resetting college football back to 2012, 10 years ago, and we're going to sim from 2012 back to present day just to see if we can repeat or rewrite history here in NCAA 13. Now, we've already done this type of video once in NCAA 2002. If you guys want to see that video, be sure to check out the link that's going to pop up above my head right now on the screen. That video went absolutely crazy. You guys loved it, and hopefully we can get some of the same crazy results here today. Now, in that sim, Alabama never became Alabama. Marshall became a dog. North Texas became a perennial top 3 team in the nation, and Ohio State absolutely ran that 20-year span, winning a total of 9 national titles. Now, here we are taking a look at the landscape here in college football. Not a single 99 overall here in year one. The best player in the nation this year is Monty Ball from Wisconsin, 98 overall. Matt Barkley's a 98 as well, and then Manti Te'o from Notre Dame is a 98. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the best guys per position group. Matt Barkley's a 98, Landry Jones a 95, Aaron Murray is a 95, Geno Smith a 94, Keith Price from Washington, Taj Boyd, and Tyler Wilson are all 94s. Now here, take a look at the running back position. We got Monty Ball at 98 overall. Marcus Lattimore of South Carolina was a 97. Now, Marcus Lattimore, I feel like he would have had an amazing NFL career if he didn't have that nasty injury in his junior season at South Carolina that definitely derailed what could have been a great running back. Silas Red from Penn State. Christine Michael was nasty. Zach Line. Kenyon Barner was nasty. We got Stephon Taylor. Joseph Randall, he ended up playing for the Cowboys, but he got caught stealing draws. Giovanni Bernard had a good NFL career. Rex Burkhead has still been around the league here and there. Andre Ellington is still around. Who else? We got James White. And then we got a redshirt junior, 91 overall, Eddie Lacy. So we got, it's pretty good to see some of these older names. DeAnthony Thomas, James Washington, Le'Veon Bell is a 90 overall. Spencer Ware has a pretty good NFL career going on. Top fullbacks is going to be Lonnie Pryor. Top receivers, we got Robert Woods from USC, who now plays for the Tennessee Titans. Sammy Watkins. This is back when they said he was better than D-Hop. Now, not really the case here nowadays. Sammy Watkins mainly because he can't stay healthy. Marquise Wilson, Ryan Swope, Josh Boyce, Keenan Allen Jr. out of Cal. We already know he's one of the top 5 receivers in the league. Darius Johnson, Kenny Stills, Nick Harwell, Marquise Lee, Jackson Shipley, nowhere near as good as his brother Jordan. We even got Tavon Austin, the speedster out of West Virginia. Stedman Bailey, shout out to him for surviving that being shot in the head. That's definitely good to see. No other big names, even as younger guys that's really jumping out to me right now. At tight ends, one of the best players in the nation, also at 97 overall, Tyler Eifert, Joe Furia. We got Zach Ertz as a redshirt junior. See if we can see any other big names. Ryan Griffin, I believe he's still in the NFL. Jordan Reed, the former quarterback. Left tackle, we got Ricky Wagner, Ade Abushi, Cameron Fleming, Caleb Johnson, Taylor Lewan. We already know how good he ended up being in the NFL. And then, my main man that plays for the Cowboys is Zach Martin. Left guard, we got Blaze Folks, we got Carson York, Nick Putz, Chance Warmack. I'm pretty sure he had a pretty decent NFL career. He still should be in the NFL. Any other big names? Nothing really standing out. At center, we got Sam Schwarzenstein, Travis Frederick, another Cowboy, no longer playing in the NFL, autoimmune disease. Let's see what else. Andrew Miller, Khalid Holmes, Patrick Lewis. And then at right guard, none of these names are really bouncing out to me, but some of you guys are going to be fans of these teams, so you guys are going to remember when they played for you guys. At right tackle, we got Xavier Su'a-Filo. He's still in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe that's going to be like the only name that really stands out to me. But at the end of the day, these are offensive linemen. Left end, we got James Gale, we got Corey Lemonier, we got John Simon, we got Aaron Lynch, Alex Okafor, Bacarvius Mingo. He was always super duper nasty in NCAA, and he was always fun to use in Madden because he was fast, but never really panned out to be anything super duper crazy. At right end, we got Jackson Jeffcoat, we got Travis Long, Sam Montgomery, Jadeveon Clowney, just a sophomore here in this game. Brandon Jenkins, Damian Square, Deion Jordan, J.R. Collins, Josh Shirley, Brandon Kelly, D-tackle star Latulele, Kewan Short, Derek Hopkins, Nikita Whitlock, Antoine Hopkins, Omar Hunter, and then Jamarcus McFarland. Those are some names that kind of stand out that I remember. Left outside linebacker, we got left outside linebacker Jordan Hicks, Taylor Reed, Tony Jefferson, Chase Thomas. We got Jamie Collins, Christian Kirksey. So like these are the positions we're gonna start to really remember some people like the other skill positions. Middle linebacker Manti Te'o, one of the best players in the nation. Chris Borland, Nico Johnson, Bruce Taylor, James Morris, John Bostic, Kenny Demons, Derek Eels, Kevin Riddick. Right outside linebacker Michael Clay White. We got Cameron Lawrence, Denikos Allen, Jarvis Jones, Mike Taylor, Michael Maltee, J.C. Percy, Sean Jackson, Kasheem Green, Jake Knott. Cornerback David Emerson, Tyronn Lue, the Honey Badger, Dee Milliner, that never really panned out in the NFL. Yeshua Amanin, Kyle Fuller, the Fuller brothers in Virginia Tech. They produce a lot of good, a lot of good players. Nikel Roby, Carrington Bynum, Quandre Diggs as a young man, just a sophomore, Broderick Brown, Terrence Brown, free safety John Boyett, Kenny Vaccaro, DJ Schweringer, Bakari Rambo, Eric Reed, TJ McDonald, Eric Franklin, LaMarcus Joyner. So we got some names that are all in the NFL. Sean Parker out of Washington, Ray Armstrong, who got caught in a scandal at the University of Miami, definitely set him back a little bit. Ended up playing a little bit of linebacker in the NFL. Robert Lester, Aaron Colvin, Earl Wolf, Brian Blitchen, Jordan Kovakis, Ibrahim Campbell, Damian Stafford, Drew Fry. Kicker, Dustin Hopkins is a big name, Caleb Sturgis is a big name that you know. Justin Sorensen, I can't remember if he kicked in the NFL. At punter, Brad Wing, Ben Tort, Jackson Rice, Quinn Sharp, Tress Way. Tress Way probably going to be the most notable name that we notice here as a punter. Take a look at what the college football landscape was like back then. Not going to be much different than what we see now. Alabama is still the #1 team in the nation. USC, LSU, Oregon, Oklahoma, Georgia, Arkansas, Florida State. I'm sorry, let's do that again. Bum SU, Michigan, West Virginia, South Carolina, Michigan State, Kansas State, Clemson, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, TCU, Ohio State, Nebraska, Stanford, Boise State, Texas, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, and Florida are going to round out the top 25 coming into the season. And when it comes to that Heisman watch list, Matt Barkley, Monty Ball, Tyron Honey Badger, Matthew, Denard Shoelace Robinson, and Landry Jones. Take a look at the championship contenders for the next 4 years. Here, of course, for 2012, a lot of the things are going to kind of remain the same and go in order. Alabama's the #1 team. For 2013, they're going to say Texas has the best shot. Same for 2014. And then for 2015, Notre Dame has the roster that they believe is going to eventually turn into a championship caliber school. Now, if you guys didn't see the last video when we reset college football back 20 years, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sim season by season, and at the end of each season, we're going to go over the awards. We're going to go over who won the Heisman. We're also going to go over all of the stats and who led what. And the difference in this game opposed to what we did in 2002, we're going to be able to jump into some of these bigger bowl games and BCS games and the conference championship games if there's a lot on the line, and we're going to be able to actually see some gameplay instead of it all being sim. And then at the end of the sim, we're going to tally up which schools that did the most, who had the most Heisman, who had the most national championships. I'll even try to keep up with who had the most conference championships, but the Heisman and Natties are definitely something that I want to keep up with for sure. All right, boys, so here we are at the end of the regular season, and there's only one undefeated team remaining in the top of the BCS rankings, and that's going to be Utah, but they do have a big conference championship game going up against Washington. Oklahoma just has to sit back and watch. Texas A&M is going to be taking on UGA. USC sits back and watches. Georgia's going to be taking on Texas A&M, so they could definitely jump up. Wisconsin takes on number 17 Michigan. Even if they win, it doesn't help, but it definitely hurts if they lose. Nebraska and Louisville is going to be back watching, and Virginia Tech is going to be playing bum SU. Texas took a big loss last week, dropping from 4 to 10, so that definitely shook things up a little bit, but for the most part, the top 3 remain unchanged, and then 4 and beyond is where things really started to change. All right, boys, so we're going to go ahead and sim the games that don't really matter as much. UCF is going to be taking on Tulsa in the Conference USA Championship. UCF gets the dub there. They knock off Tulsa, so they're going to get a nice little bowl. Then we got Bum SU taking on Florida State. Like, once again, I don't think that this game really matters as much. And Virginia Tech is going to be able to get the win. They control their own destiny, and they just have to wait and see. Then we got Texas A&M taking on Georgia. But we're going to go ahead and jump into this game because it has plenty of implications on Texas A&M possibly getting into the Natty and even Georgia jumping into that top 2 and 3 spot in the BCS ranking. All right, man, here we are in Atlanta getting ready for the SEC championship game. Aaron Murray looking to lead the Georgia Bulldogs to come in and get an upset. Surprising that Texas A&M is playing as well. We got Johnny Manziel on his Texas A&M team, not starting, but he's there. Redshirt freshman. Mike Evans is also young and on the team as a redshirt freshman. So we're going to have to come out here and see exactly who's going to come out here to get the dub. All right, boys, so we're going to go quarter by quarter here in the first quarter. Georgia does strike first, and Texas A&M comes right back and strikes again. And right now, we're at a little standstill, 3rd and 2 to start off the second quarter here. Texas A&M scores. Georgia goes right back and scores. A&M gets 6 more of their own. They get a stop. They put 6 more on the board. But Georgia is not going to go away quietly. We got a 21-7 ball game here. Here we are going to the next quarter, back and forth, back and forth. A&M gets 3. They're up 9. And here, going into the fourth quarter, Georgia's down 9, but Georgia was driving. Georgia is going to get stuffed there. A&M could really put them out of their misery, but they throw a pick on the very next play. Georgia goes down 2 with 3 minutes left. Showers with a big 34-yard pickup pass there, 6-yard rush, drop pass, 3rd and 4, 7-yard pickup. That was huge. 2nd and 9, 3rd and 4. Let's go ahead and watch this 3rd and 4 play because Georgia's going to need a stop here if they want a chance to try to go to drive down and get a win here in this ball game. We got Showers putting the man in motion. He's back to pass. Pressure in his face. He's going to take a sack, and Georgia's going to take a timeout. That doesn't really... Oh, wait. Georgia's the freaking team... Boys, my apologies. Georgia's the team losing. What the hell am I thinking? Of course, Georgia's going to take a damn timeout. But just under 2 minutes left, and Texas A&M is going for it. They are not kicking a field goal. I mean, field goal doesn't really help here. He has all day to throw. He's going to take a shot to the back of the end zone, and it's nearly picked off. And Georgia is going to take over here with under 2 minutes and 2 timeouts. This is the type of drama that we want to see early on in the very first season, boys. We couldn't really get the full feel of it back when we did a 20-year sim. Aaron Murray back to pass. He goes with a quick pass over the middle. He's going to pick up 6. Are they going to run a no huddle? I would if I was them. All right, Georgia is going to do just that. Aaron Murray's going to have to make some big boy throws here. Back to pass. It's going to be a draw play, and they got plenty of running room. They go for the strip, and they get it. Texas A&M gets a big strip right there on that play. Who would have seen that coming? You got to hold on to the ball there in that situation, boys. And here we are, 2 timeouts left for Georgia, 1:34 left. They are still in a good position here to get the ball back with a good amount of time left, but they're definitely not going to want to turn the ball over. Here's a run up the middle. They're going to get the stop, and they're going to take their first timeout. All right, 2nd and 6 here. Christine Michael picks up 4 yards there on the rush. They need to stop here well before the first down marker, and it's going to be a run. They do get the stop. 3rd and 2. This is a money play right here. All right, boys, here we go. 3rd and 2. 5 for 12 on 3rd downs today is Texas A&M. I believe they're going to turn around and hand it off to Christine Michael. I mean, I would if I was them. So let's see exactly what happens here. They're not going to be able to utilize any clock, of course, because they did use a timeout. It's a stretch play to the right, and they stop them. They're going to be short, 4th and inches. What does Texas A&M do? Do they punt it? Do they kick a field goal? Let's see. All right, boys, so once again on 4th down, 4th and inches, A&M is sending out their offense. I like the aggressiveness from their coach here. Do they go to the air? Do they keep it on the ground? I mean, Christine Michael has been falling forward every single play. They are going to utilize some of that clock. If I was them, I would probably run the clock all the way down and get as much time as possible. Then kick 3, because if they get a stop here, they only need 3 to tie it up. But, you know what I mean? That's why they get paid the big bucks, and I'm just up here commentating, man. 4th and inches, back to pass, wide open man, and that's a GG's. Texas A&M is going to hold on, and they're going to win the SEC championship. All right, boys, that's going to do it. Clock hits 000. A&M remains in the driver's seat, waiting for somebody else to lose their conference championship game as they handle business here in Atlanta. Their final score 30-28. Instant classic, though. Instant classic between these two top 10 teams. This was the play of the game right here. The strip, man. You just got to hold on to that. You cannot fumble right there. Next up, we got this game between number 1 Utah, who's the lone undefeated team this season, and number 13 Washington. Washington could play a major spoiler if they can get this upset here today. All right, boys, here we are. It looks like the Pac-12 championship game is just played at whoever has the best record. So we are in Utah. Not really sure what part of Utah the Utes play in, man, but it's cold out here. You can see people's breath being blown. But we're out here for some football. Let's see if Utah can get the dub. All right, boys, so for this one, we're just going to go straight to end game and see how it plays out. Utah scores first. They get a stop. They go down and score again. Looks like they're the real deals. They get another stop, but they're unable to punch it in. They get the ball back again. They're up 17 going into the locker room. Washington finally gets 3 in the third, but it's 24-6. Utah is not letting up anytime soon unless UW just pulls off a miraculous comeback, and they are unable to do just that, as Utah is going to be your Pac-12 champs. I mean, they had home field advantage, so let's blame it on that. But Washington was definitely not ready for the task. All right, boys, so this season's Heisman Trophy winner is going to be Denard Shoelace Robinson, 345 first-place votes. He threw for almost 2,700 yards. He ran for another 884, and he had a total of 42 touchdowns. Win from Utah is going to finish behind them with 239 first-place votes. They were a tie for second-place votes. Showers from Texas A&M had 117 first-place votes. Tito Martinez from Nebraska got some votes, and then Monty Ball got 17, and 72. So he was just there to be there for the most part. All right, boys, so take a look at the rest of the award winners. Jordan Wynn from Utah is going to win your Maxwell. The Walter Camp is going to go to Taylor Martinez. I don't know why I called that man Tito. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Brandon McGee, cornerback from the U, is going to win the Bednarik. Sam Montgomery from LSU is going to win the Nagurski. Jordan Wynn is going to win the O'Brien. Monty Ball is going to win the Doak Walker. Robert Woods wins the Bolitnikov. The Mackey goes to Austin S. Jenkins. The Outland goes to Ricky Wagner. Travis Frederick wins the Remington. Sam Montgomery wins the Lombardi. Best linebacker, a.k.a. the Dick Buckus Award, goes to Steven Jenkins. The Thorpe goes to Brandon McGee from the U. The Groza goes to Kyle French. The Guy goes to Brad Wing. Best returner, the Jet Award goes to Jared Abaritis. And then, all right, they don't have Coach of the Year here on the slate. We'll quickly scroll through the All-American list. This is something that we don't really check into, you know, how many years down the line, because it definitely takes a while to read off all these names, and I'm not doing that. But we're just going to slowly but surely go through some of these, see some of the notable names. Michael Sam is on the list. I mean, we already know Michael Sam was a beast in college, man. Didn't really pan out in the league. I feel like he didn't get a fair shot, but, you know, it is what it is. Everett Golson is a freshman here in this, boys. So, wow, this seems like forever ago when you see some of these names, but I find it pretty dope. All right, boys, let's take a look at these bowl games and see what the notable bowl games are going to be. The Natty is going to be Texas A&M versus Utah. Like I said, man, A&M was number 3, and they made that jump to number 2 to play in the Natty because of the stature of their game. It made sense. The Cotton Bowl, South Carolina, Texas. Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma, Syracuse. Orange Bowl, Virginia Tech, and Nevada. Wow, Nevada's in the Orange Bowl? Wow, okay. Nebraska versus Louisville in the Sugar Bowl. Rose Bowl, Michigan, USC. And that's pretty much the biggest games that we're going to see. Georgia, Wisconsin in the Capital One Bowl. Chick-fil-A Bowl, a bowl that I like to go to here in Atlanta in real life. Arkansas versus Georgia Tech. I said I was going to jump into a lot of these games, but I feel like for right now, unless, you know, for right now when it comes to bowl games, we're probably just going to focus on jumping in the Natty. Everything else is probably going to take a little bit too long. All right, boys, so let's go ahead and sim some of the BCS bowl games first, because those are the ones that are most important, that we care about the most. First up, we got the Rose Bowl here in season number 1. USC bumps off Michigan 44-14. It wasn't even close. Then here in the Sugar Bowl, Nebraska is going to lose to Louisville 27-17 in the Sugar Bowl. So Louisville gets the job done. This is an intriguing game in the Orange Bowl, Nevada versus Virginia Tech. Nevada gets the dub 13-10 versus Virginia Tech in the Orange Bowl. Definitely didn't see that coming. Who is even Nevada's top players? You know what I mean? Don't know who that is, but he threw the ball, he ran the ball well, and wasn't a lot of points scored, man, but Nevada just had a lot of grit and grime to them, and they found a way to get it done. In the Cotton Bowl, South Carolina narrowly escapes with a victory here versus Texas, 29-28. Here in the Fiesta Bowl, we got Oklahoma and Syracuse. Oklahoma bumps off Syracuse by 14. All right, boys, so before we get into this Natty game, as you can see, Oklahoma not playing in a conference championship definitely harmed them, because Texas A&M beat Georgia, who was number 5 last week. That propelled them from 3-2 over Oklahoma. They had the same record, and that obviously made Texas A&M's schedule just a little bit tougher and a little bit more impressive when it came to the vote to the computers. All right, boys, here we are in the Orange Bowl, Miami, Florida, and we have the Natty on the way. I want to sit here and see and take in the sights and the sounds from the national championship, because it's been a long time since I played this game.
This presentation of college football is brought to you by Dove Men Plus Care. Be comfortable in your own skin. And we've got a good one tonight between the Texas A&M Aggies and the Utes of Utah. And here come both teams. Well, it all comes down to one game, folks. The battle for the BCS National Championships at stake, and we couldn't be more excited to be bringing it to you. And it's almost time for kickoff. But first, let's send you down to midfield for the coin toss. Presented by Dove Men Plus Care. Be comfortable in your own skin.
All right, boys, here we go. With this one, we're going to go quarter by quarter. Utah strikes first. A&M is right behind them. Utah scores again. End of the first quarter. Let's see if A&M has what it takes to answer back. They do. So this is going to be a pretty back and forth game from what I can see. Utah scores on another straight drive. They finally get stopped. Texas A&M scores. And here we are going into the locker room. 21-all. I feel like this one is going to come down to the wire, man. Let's go ahead and send them to the fourth quarter. A&M scores. Utah gets stopped. Utah gets to stop. They go down to score. Get them fours up, ladies and gentlemen. We got a 28-all ball game here. And we're going to go slowly possession by possession. Starting off the fourth quarter, Utah is going to punt. And then A&M goes down and gets 3:26 left here. We're going to go by the possession. And A&M forces the punt. So we got a 2nd and 13. Penalty on the offense. 3rd and 7. Let's go ahead and see if Utah can get up off the field and save their 3 timeouts to get the ball back and try to either tie or win this game here late in the fourth quarter. Showers back in shotgun, running back to his left. You already know they're going to try to utilize some of that clock. It's going to be under 2 minutes by the time they snap it. 3rd and 7, 4, 3, 2. They're going to snap it right at 2 minutes. Back to pass, and it's almost picked. If Freeman makes that pick, he is to the crib, and this is a whole new ball game. Instead, Utah is going to get the ball back via punt, and we're going to go ahead and see what they can do here with this 2-minute drive. Now, Utah coming out. Win is going to be underneath center. This can be his big-time moment, back to pass. No blitz, no pressure, really. He's going to deliver a strike for 9 yards. Clock is ticking, but they have all 3 timeouts, so it's not that big of a deal. 2nd and 1 here for Utah. Let's see if A&M is going to bring a blitz or if they're only going to rush the stock 4. They only just rushed the 4. Wynn has all day to throw. Once again, he hits a man over the middle. That's going to be a first down for the Utes. All right, boys, 1st and 10. Once again, the Utah Utes have yet to use their timeouts. No need. They keep picking up first downs. Win back to pass. Once again, A&M doesn't send any extra pressure, and he hits another receiver very, very easily. So Utah fresh out of their first timeout with exactly a minute left in this ball game. 2 remain. Win finally back in shotgun. A&M is yet to blitz him here. He's been picking them apart. They only rushed 4 once again. He has all day to throw the ball. He hits a wide open man over the middle. A&M's defense is just entirely too soft with their coverage right now. They're just driving up and down the field. All right, 1st and 10. Utah should be in field goal range, but if I had to guess, they are definitely thinking touchdown here. Win once again, all day to throw. No pressure. First down by the tight end. Remember, in the SEC Championship, A&M got a very big strip fumble in that fourth quarter. Can they get that magic here again? And Utah's going to clock it here for some reason. I don't really agree with it, but I'm not coaching the ball club. All right, 2nd and 10 here for Utah. 45 seconds left, 1 timeout. They are already in range to tie this ball game up, but I'm pretty sure they don't want to go to overtime. Win all day to throw once again, only 4 rushing. And there's the big fumble. Oh, no, it's the incomplete. I was going to say A&M has some type of magic. Utah 7 for 12 on 3rd downs here today, and they're going to need a big-time conversion right now. Let's see what happens. Back to pass again, only rushing 4. Taking a shot back in the end zone, wide open. What a catch on a bad throw. And Jordan Wynn, well, he already broke it, but he breaks it even more here in the national championship game. Up 3 with 36 seconds left. Extra point is good. Up 4. How does Texas A&M respond with all 3 timeouts? We're going to start off here with the kick return to see if they can get anything good to happen. He is going to actually return it. And he's brought down at just past the 25 and 26. Utah, hey, man, these fans, they can feel it. They feel the natty on the way. A&M fans, not so much. Let's see what Showers and his offense can do, man. I mean, they got to take shots. and the field goal does nothing. They got to find a way to try to punch it in. But as you guys can see by my DeAndre almost picked off once again. Hail Marys do work on these games, is what I was going to say during Super Sim. So 28 seconds left here for A&M. All right, 2nd and 10 here, boys. Showers back to pass, and he's going to take off running. Nearly sacked. He's going to break a tackle, and he's chopped down by the corner. 3rd and 8 coming up for A&M. All right, 3rd and 8. 5 for 10 on 3rd down conversions is A&M. 23 seconds. They do still have 2 timeouts. You got to try to make the 4th down manageable if nothing is deep. Looks like they might go with a weak-ass bubble screen. They faked the bubble screen. They do blitz. That's Utah, that is. They blitz. They do rush the quarterback. They almost get the sack, but he just gets rid of it. And here is for all the marbles right now. All right, man. Showers back to pass. No blitz, only rushing 3. He's taking a shot on 4th and 8, and it's picked off. Finally, Utah is going to actually make them pay for some of those Mickey Mouse reads. And the Utah Utes are your national champs here in 2012, 2013. All right, boys, so that's going to do it. The clock hits 000s, and the Utah Utes are going to be season one's national champion. I don't think any of us saw this coming, but once again, let's take in the sights and sounds and see what it looks like when you win a natty.
They've battled all year. Whenever it got tough, they came together and came out on top. And now they're on top of the polls, the world, everything. Congratulations to our national champions.
And for win, he wins Player of the Game honors.
All right, boys, this is my first time playing this game on this account, and that one got an instant classic #1 ranking naturally because it's my only one, but I ain't gonna lie, that was a really good game. All right, boys, so players of the game is going to be Christine Michael for A&M, 20 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then Wynn is going to be the player of the game for Utah, 363 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, and he made that throw in the back of the end zone to get the dub, man. Hell of a game, bro. Hell of a game, and that was fun to watch. All right, boys, so final top 25 ranking: Utah, Oklahoma, USC, Nevada, A&M, Louisville, Georgia, Nebraska, Virginia Tech, LSU, Georgia Tech, Washington, Texas, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, South Carolina, FIU went 12-1, Boise at 9-4, Michigan, Oregon, Kansas State, Ohio State, Bum SU, NC State, and Iowa. All right, boys, here we are in the off season, and taking a look at who has the top classes in the nation. Bama is going to walk away with the top class in the nation. 3 5-stars, 11 4-stars, 7 3-stars, but they go 8-5, 4-4 in the SEC. Definitely not what you expect from Bama back in this time frame. This is when the dynasty really started to pick up. Nebraska has the #2 class. Oregon, Michigan, LSU, Bum SU, Florida, USC. I got to find out a way to call Florida horrible. USC, Georgia, Penn State. That's the top 10 recruiting classes. Wisconsin, Stanford, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Auburn, North Carolina, Kansas State, Arkansas, Boise State, Missouri, Boston College, Ohio State, Michigan State, Clemson, and Purdue are your top 25 recruiting classes in the nation. And let's take a look at what the top recruiting class in the nation looks like. They got a 5-star middle linebacker and outside linebacker, as well as a 5-star corner. They got a damn 4-star kicker, which is that's how you know we in a simulation, because Nick Saban don't recruit good kickers. All right, boys, so here we are, preseason for season #2. USC and Utah are going to be your top 2 teams from the Pac-12. Oklahoma, LSU, Georgia, A&M, Wisconsin, Vatech, Notre Dame, Texas, Michigan, South Carolina, Oregon, Nebraska, Washington, Florida State. Damn, I called them their regular name. Ohio State, Arkansas, Louisville, Georgia Tech, NC State, Kansas State, Iowa, Bama at #24, and Boise State at 25. Heisman watch list: Jordan Wynn is coming back for his senior season, trying to run it back. We got Jamil Showers from A&M, Taylor Martinez, Jesse Collier, and Kendrick Rhodes from FIU. Take a look at the best players in the nation right now. We got Keith Price from Washington. We got Robert Woods, Marcus Latimer, Tyler Eifert, Sierra Wood, Aaron Murray. Those are all the 99s. We had to know that with all that 98s and 97s. Somebody was going to be a 99 this year. We got quite a few. Travis Frederick, Jacob Peterson, Sean Parker, Derek Hopkins, Josh Boyce, So these are the 98. So, you know, I mean, we got a pretty deep class of athletes. Kenny Steele's here at Oklahoma. Giovanni Bernard's a 97. Like, this is pretty dope to see these names really become, you know, top guys in the nation. All right, boys, so here we are at the end of the regular season, season number 2, and Alabama had a bounce back year. They're 11-0, what you expect them to be. They got a conference championship game versus South Carolina. Virginia Tech has an ACC championship game versus Wake Forest. They're at number 2, even with 2 losses. Again, Oklahoma doesn't have a conference championship game. Wisconsin isn't in theirs. Notre Dame doesn't have one. Utah takes on Stanford. I wonder when Utah lost, because they probably lost late. They did to ASU. That's not a good loss at all. That's why they're so low. Texas is not in the game. Ohio State, Michigan State, Stanford, of course, all having games to play. The top 10 is really all that matters when it comes to these BCS bowl rankings. Let's jump into these conference championship games and see who's going to emerge victorious. All right, so this one looks like it is probably going to be close, even though 1 is 2, 1 is 19. We're going to jump in. We're going to super sim all the ones that matter. And I feel like only these 2 matter. We're gonna super sim the one with the number 1 and the one with the number 2 team. All right, boys, here we are in the ACC championship game. Let's see exactly what happens here. Virginia Tech strikes first with a field goal, and right now Wake Forest strikes with 7 points. They get a stop. They go down. Looks like they probably miss a field goal. 7-3 here in the third quarter. Not a lot of scoring whatsoever. Jeez. Wake Forest finally scores again, and Virginia Tech. Okay, we're in business here. Now we're coming down to the stretch where we need to see what's going to happen here, and Virginia Tech is going to force a punt. 2-minute drill coming up here. Down 3. Hell of a punt, though. Hell of a punt from Wake Forest. About 95, 94, 96, 95 yards for Virginia Tech with 3 timeouts to try to win this ball game. So let's see if the unthinkable can happen. And it's going to start off on a good note as he hits a receiver across the middle for 7. As one would think, it's going to be a lot of no huddle here. They do have all 3 timeouts, but they don't want to blow them too early. Here's the blitz. Is the screen? It is. He gets it off. Room in front. He breaks a tackle, but they're going to stuff him short of the first down marker. 3rd and 1 with 1:35 here. Does Virginia Tech keep it on the ground? Do they go to the air? I mean, either way you put it, they're going to have to go for it on 4th. And they're coming out in the I form. They're putting the tight end out in motion. They are going to go to the air. There was a blitz from Wake Forest. It got picked up very well, and that's going to be a first down for Virginia Tech. Running back is going to be back to block. Actually, it's another screenplay. A lot of good blocking up in front for Virginia Tech. He has a lot of room across the 50, out just shy of the 45. Michael Holmes. All right, 1st and 10, and Virginia Tech is in business here, boys. Using Wake Forest's aggression against them as they hit the tight end across the middle. That's timeout. Number 2 is going. They use their aggression, against them, boys. They go with the screenplay. They got a lot of yards out of it, but they got to find a way to try to move the ball to get in the field goal range here. 49 seconds left. Like I said, 1 timeout. What will Virginia Tech do? This is their national title hopes on the line, and they're taking a shot deep, and it's going to be picked off, and that's going to be the ball game. Wake Forest should win this game. Virginia Tech only has 1 timeout left. Let's go ahead and sim it. 3-yard rush, 3rd and 4, 4th and 2. They're going to punt the ball. They actually do not, because they're smart. And Wake Forest with a big time upset here in the ACC championship game. This is why they play the games, man. All right, man, so Wake Forest is going to go ahead and hoist the ACC championship trophy. Congrats to them. That's a big-time spoiler, man. Way to ruin somebody's offseason. Or their postseason, rather. All right, boys, here we are in Atlanta, SEC championship. Alabama taking on South Carolina. Well, Alabama survived their conference championship game. Unlike, who did we see lose already? Unlike Virginia Tech, bro, I don't know. But Nick Saban, his boys went 8-4 last year. He said that was unacceptable, and they came out this season. They're undefeated going into the championship game. They go up 7-0. South Carolina does have Marcus Lattimore, and in college football, if you have a good running back, you can compete. And as you can see here, they are going toe-to-toe with Goliath, but Goliath finally got to stop. And it's a pretty back-and-forth game here, and Alabama goes up 2 scores. Alabama goes up 3 scores. And this is pretty much when they're going to, they blow the game out of the water. Alabama's going to win the SEC championship game, and they will advance to the Natty. But I'm curious to see who's going to jump up, who are they going to propel up to be the number 2 seed to take on Bama in the national championship. All right, boys, so season 2's Heisman winner is going to be Jalston Fowler. from Alabama. Literally never heard of this dude before. And these are real name rosters. Alabama fans enlighten me. Was he good? Was he like that? I don't remember this dude, but 1,300 yards on the ground, 15 touchdowns, another 5 on the ground. James White from Wisconsin finished second. Bennett from Pitt, Medlock from FIU, and Kendall Marshall from UGA were the guys under that. And one thing we forgot to look at last season was the stat leaders for the year. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. All right, so NCAA passing yards leader is going to be Garrett Gilbert from SMU, 4,400 yards, nearly 45. He also led the nation in touchdowns. Who led the nation in picks? Jamil Showers from Texas A&M, 20 and 25. That is ridiculous. Taylor Davis from Idaho went 10 for 22, 11 for 21 for Caleb Herring. Yards per game is going to go to Gilbert as well. Rushing yard leader is going to be Darius Stanton from Navy. You already know he gets a lot of attempts to run the ball. I call this man Kendall. I'm thinking of UNC point guard. Keith Marshall, 1,700 yards as well. Everybody else under them of like 300 yards behind. Yards per game is going to go to Marcus Lattimore for 7.1. Touchdowns, Isaac Bennett and Tony Zenon with 17 apiece. In this universe, Georgia Tech still runs the triple option. The best receiver in the nation is going to be Derek. The best receiver in the nation is going to go to Derek Thompson from SMU. He had the best quarterback in the nation, yards-wise, almost 1,800 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns. Daniel Spencer from Houston, 104 catches, 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. Hakeem Haney from Troy, 13 touchdowns on 1,400 yards. Griswold from Middle Tennessee State, just 6 touchdowns with all those catches. That kind of sucks. Wide receiver of the year goes to Dress Anderson, 88 catches, 1,504 yards, 14 touchdowns. Not really sure what he did that was so much better than everybody else. Sherman Ragland from Wake Forest is going to lead everybody in touchdowns. Blocking wise, who led everybody in pancakes? Looks like it's going to be Austin Long from UGA. Defensively, Roderick Blunt led everybody with 125 tackles and solo tackles and assisted tackles. Tackles for loss is going to go to Maurice Falls from East Carolina. Sack leader is going to be Troy Hines from BYU. Pick leader is going to be Justin Gilbert with 11. Damn, what a season. Jamerson Love had 8. Tyrann Mathieu had 8. Forrest Hightower had 8. Award winner Jake Madlock is going to win the Maxwell from FIU. Walter Kemp goes to James White. Benedict goes to Justin Gilbert. Nagurski goes to Isaac Williams. O'Brien goes to Jordan Wynn. James White wins to Doak Walker. Dress Anderson was the wide receiver of the year. I do not know how, bro. I do not know how. That one kid with the 115 catches should have won. I don't care, from SMU. The Mackey goes to Derek Boblock. Travis Frederick wins the Outland. Remington goes to Travis Frederick. Lombardi goes to Steven Tuitt. Kyle Vanoy wins best linebacker. Hey, shout out to Kyle Vanoy. You know what I mean? Justin Gilbert wins to Thorpe. Groza goes to Maldonado. The guy goes to Mandel. Best returner goes to Latchi Seastrunk. And they, like, once again, I'm still not used to not seeing Coach of the Year. Bowl game, the national championship, Alabama versus Oklahoma. So even though Oklahoma doesn't have that conference championship, they were able to get into the Natty due to Virginia Tech fumbling the bag. Cotton Bowl, Georgia, Oklahoma State. Fiesta Bowl, Texas, Pitt. Orange Bowl, Wake Forest, Notre Dame. Sugar Bowl, Wisconsin, Virginia Tech. And the Rose Bowl is going to be Ohio State, Utah. So, you know, the 2 ACC teams are in BCS National Championship game, are in BCS Bowl games, excuse me. Like I was saying, boys, we were probably going to transition to just doing the National Championship game, and I feel like that's still going to be the play because that's the game that matters the most. We might get some classics elsewhere, but we're here to count who wins the National Championships, who wins the, you know, the awards. That's what's really going to be what rewrites history. All right, boys, we got a rainy one here in this National Championship game. This doesn't seem like it would be fun to go to, but it's where we are, and it's what we have to deal with. So let's see who's going to come out on top. They love having, they make it rain a little bit too much in NCAA at times, but it is what it is. And Oklahoma's going to strike first. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Alabama finally gets on the board here. Alabama gets the ball back again. They score again. Oklahoma's going to have to score touchdowns if they want to stay in this game, and they fumbled a bag in the red zone there somehow. Here we are in the fourth quarter. Bama goes up 10. They have the ball. They're pretty much going to run the clock out now to this point, and the field goal was no good. All right, boys, so the clock is 0-0. Bama gets the 10-point victory here. Looks like we're not going to see a celebration. NCAA does that sometimes, man. Alabama gets their first national championship win of the Sim. All right, boys, take a look at the bowl results. We already know what happened in the Natty. Cotton Bowl, Georgia blew out Oklahoma State. Fiesta Bowl, Pitt blew out Texas. In the Orange Bowl, Wake Forest got destroyed by Notre Dame. Wisconsin loses by 17 to Brown Tech. Utah beats Ohio State. So Utah's proven so far early on in this series, man, that they are the real deal. They just got caught slipping versus ASU. All right, boys, take a look at the top classes in the nation. LSU has the #1 class. 5 5 stars, 13 4 stars, 6 3 stars, 1 2 stars. I got to take a look at this. 5 stars, strong safety, wide receiver, outside linebacker, athlete, and wide receiver. 4 stars, strong safety, 2 DNs, a running back, 3 athletes, another running back, a corner, 2 more running backs, 3 more running backs, and an outside linebacker. Oh my goodness, these boys are trying to stock up. You got Oklahoma with 6 5 stars, an athlete, corner, guard, athlete, 2 wide receivers, and then a 4-star wide receiver. Alabama right back in the mix in top 3 with 3 8 9 3. Nebraska with 5 5 stars. Oklahoma State decent class, real good class, top 5. Michigan with the top 10 class. Miami, our guys with a top 10 class, 1 9 10 2 and 1. Arkansas, Wisconsin, and Ohio State. All right, boys. So coming into the preseason of season number 3, remember they said Notre Dame was going to be like that. 99 overall, 97 offense, 97 defense. They're #1. Bama's #2. Wisconsin, Georgia, Oklahoma, LSU, Utah still in the mix. Just a B overall as well, but they're in a weaker conference. Washington, Texas, Ohio State, USC, Virginia Tech, Oregon, Stanford, Michigan State, North Carolina, Iowa, the U, bum SU, Oklahoma State, Georgia Tech, Nebraska, Clemson, Virginia, and Michigan. The Heisman watch list, we got Isaac Bennett from Pitt. He was one of the finalists last year. Tyler Plants, a running back from Notre Dame, 5'9", 206. Keith Marshall from Georgia. Tony Zeenan from Georgia Tech. And Jake Medlock, once again, from FIU. Taking a look at the top players in the nation, we got Marquise Lee, Jackson Shipley, Cameron Fleming, David Yankee, I was being funny. Dad jokes, I can't help it. Giovanni Bernard, Sammy Watkins is a 99 as a senior. Michael Dyer transferred from Auburn and went to Arkansas State. Damn, wow, okay. Maybe I need to start paying attention to players leaving, I don't know. Austin S. Jenkins from Washington. These are the 98s. Xavier Suafalo. We got Caleb Johnson. We got Michael Honeycutt. We got Nick's wing. Jadeveon Clowney only made it to a 97. Look at me saying only. The Anthony Thomas is a 97. So, you know what I mean? A lot of good comp around the nation. All right, boys. Here we are at the end of season number 3. We're about a couple days removed from the first 2 seasons, man. I got tired that night. It was like 2 in the morning. I had to go get me some sleep. But here we are in the conference championship week, man. The Houston Cougars are the #1 team in the nation. All right, boys, so here we are at the end of season number 3. We are a few days removed from the other day. You know what I mean? The first 2 seasons, it was like 2 in the morning. I got tired, had to get me some sleep. But we're back. Houston is your #1 team in the nation. They got number 25 UCF this week in the conference championship game. Louisville and Notre Dame at 12-0 and 11-1 do not have conference championship games, so they could potentially get jumped. Bama's sitting at number 4. They're taking on number 7 UGA. But with 2 losses, I don't see them jumping up to all the way to the 2nd spot. Iowa's 11-1 taking on Wisconsin. Clemson's at 6 taking on UVA. And Georgia, the most I could see them jumping up to was like number 4 or something like that. All right, boys, here we are in Houston, Texas for, what is it? What are they? An American Conference Championship game? Or the Conference USA? Either way, man, Conference Championship game. UCF can play major spoiler by bumping off the #1 team in the nation this late in the season. All right, boys, let's go ahead and sim through this game. Let's see if Houston strikes first. UCF actually goes up 7-0. Houston answers back. Houston gets a stop. They go up 14-7. UCF is fighting. It's a tie ball game here. At the end of the first half, 14-14. The Cougars start off the 3rd quarter scoring. UCF drives down and gets 3. The Cougars get 6 more. UCF gets stopped. And whoa, hold on. We got ourselves a game here. Or are they running out the clock? Oh, yeah. Houston's taking a knee, so they're going to end up winning this game 28-23. UCF falls this short of playing spoiler and knocking off the #1 team in the nation. So Houston is all but punched their ticket. So with these other games, I'm going to just go ahead and straight sim because they don't really have, you know, direct effects on who makes it to the Natty. And number 6 Clemson gets bumped off by number 13 UVA. Bama plays Georgia, but once again, I don't think anybody's going to jump anybody in this game. UGA beat the brakes off of Bama as well. Then we got Oregon USC, doesn't matter. Then we got Iowa versus Wisconsin. This game could have some implications. and Iowa's going to come away with a victory, 24-21, scoring late. Melvin Gordon scored a touchdown late in the fourth quarter in Iowa. All right, boys, here we go to end of season number 3. David Pilon of Houston is going to be this season's Heisman winner. 5,800 yards passing, 60 touchdowns through the air, not a single one on the ground. 541st place votes, it wasn't close. And he beat out his wide receiver who he was throwing the ball to as the number 2 guy getting all the Heisman votes. Nobody else was even close to those two. That was absolutely insane. Let's just take a look at the top guys in the nation. The closest person to Pilon when it came to passing was 2,100 yards after him. The top rusher in the nation is going to be Chisholm from Akron, running for 1637. The top receiver is going to be Spencer from Houston. Oh, what the fuck? 2,600 receiving yards, bro. That's absolutely insane. Rogers is going to lead the nation in tackles with 49 from UTSA. Sack leader is going to be McCullough from Northwestern with 10.5, tied with Apaya from Boston College and Eels from Mississippi State. Interception leader is going to be Christian from Pitt, tied with Byron Jones from UConn, former former Cowboy. And then the longest kick in the nation is going to go to Loftus, Moore, and Daniels with all 56 yards this season. I just wanted to come over here and take a look at the season that Pilon had and his receiver as well. 60 touchdowns, only 3 picks, 444 yards a game, 66% completion percentage, dog. That's nuts. That is insane. And in receiving, of course, Daniel Spencer is going to win the Biletnikoff. 161 catches, dog. That is nuts. 25, like we already went over his yards. He had 22 receiving touchdowns. And then his other guy on the other side of the field, Greenberry, 100 catches, 1,382 yards, 18 touchdowns. That would usually win somebody the receiver of the year, the Biletnikoff Award winner. But when you got somebody going absolutely nuts like that, there's nothing you could do about it. Owner of the award winners, the Maxwell goes to Pilon, Walter Camp goes to Spencer, Benedict goes to Grant of Ohio State, Nagurski goes to Jadeveon Clowney. Makes sense. The O'Brien goes to Pilon. Who else would have won it? Melvin Gordon wins to Doak Walker. Biletnikoff winner, of course, goes to Spencer. The Mackey goes to Brandon Foltz from FIU. Josh Cochran gets the Outland from UT. The Remington goes to Grasu from Oregon. Jadeveon Clowney also wins the Lombardi Award. The best linebacker goes to Tony Stewart from Clemson. Doran Grant wins the Thorpe once again from Ohio State. The Groza goes to Michael Honeycutt. The guy goes to Colin Ditzworth from Nevada. The best returner goes to Jackson Shipley. And those are the awards for this season. Take a look at the bowl games. It will be Louisville versus Houston in the BCS National Championship game. Very unlikely National Championship game, but you'd love to see it. Cotton Bowl, Auburn, Oklahoma, Texas A&M in the Fiesta Bowl. Orange Bowl goes to Virginia, Notre Dame. Sugar Bowl, Georgia, Clemson. Rose Bowl, Iowa, USC. And then what's the other bowls I like? The Capital One Bowl, Alabama, Nebraska. Gator Bowl, Mississippi State, Ohio State. And then the Chick-fil-A Bowl is going to be Tennessee and Miami. All right, boys, the biggest stage of them all, the BCS National Championship, will be played in Arizona at the Fiesta Bowl this season. And we got Houston versus Louisville. Who would have ever thought we would see this type of natty? Let's go quarter by quarter. And Louisville is going to strike first. They get a stop. They score again. They go up 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. This game is looking like the makings of a blowout. Houston finally scores, but they cannot stop Louisville, who's up 24-7. Louisville was actually really good around this time. You know what I mean? They're one of those teams where they'll be really good, then they'll be like, then they'll be really good again. But right now, man, they are holding their own in this national championship game. They are up 38-7. This game is, oh my goodness, it just keeps getting uglier and uglier. All right, boys, so that's going to do it. The clock hits 000s. In Louisville, the Louisville Cardinals are your national champions. Now, Louisville's known to be good, you know what I mean, in winning basketball. You know what I mean? They usually do pretty well, and they win in baseball from time to time. But never their football team is this good, bro. We got to take a look at why the #1 receiver and the #1 quarterback in the nation just completely struggled in this one. All right, boys, so we got those final bowl results in. We already know what happened in the Natty. Let's take a look here. Auburn lost to Oklahoma. Texas lost to Texas A&M. Notre Dame beat the crap out of Virginia. Clemson beat the crap out of Georgia. USC got the crap beat out of them by Iowa. We'll even throw ECU in there. They beat the crap out of Purdue. Mississippi State got blown out by Ohio State. One of my dogs are barking. Capital One Bowl, Alabama beat Nebraska. Ole Miss got 21 skunked by Wisconsin. FIU upset Stanford 45-42, and then Tennessee got their head cracked by Miami in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Now, what I want to know is what happened in this game. Oh, this is the Louisville team with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. Yes, they were super duper duper good with Teddy Bridgewater. And they had Devontae Parker as well. So they had a nice 1-2 punch. But what happened to Houston? Pylan, 14 for 32, 185 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. And then his top receiver, Spencer, 3 for 51, Greenberry, 3 for 42. This Louisville defense must have just been like that, as they, Houston just could not find a way to win. So season 3 is in the books. Louisville is our national champions. Can't wait to see what's going to go on for the rest of this sim, because it's already getting crazy. All right, boys, here we are, signing day. Let's take a look at what teams had the top classes in the nation, because I feel like when we see that, bro, this is going to be a lot of who we see really emerge, because I think Louisville had a top class one of these other seasons. Maybe I could be wrong, but Bama gets the #1 class in the nation, 4 5-stars, 8 4-stars, 9 3-stars. Then we got Georgia, LSU, Clemson, Texas, Iowa with no 5-stars, but 14 4-stars. USC, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma, and Oregon round out the top 10 in recruiting classes. So look out for one of these teams to really emerge as a top player. I mean, we know Bama's already a top player, but for some reason, whenever you sim an NCAA 13 or any NCAA game, the teams you think that's going to be super nasty never are. All right, boys, here we are to start of season 4, and we got the preseason polls. And remember, the championship contenders, they said for the 4-year outlook, they said Notre Dame would be the #1 team in the nation. They did not tell a lie. They're A+, A+, A-A. Then we got Clemson, Oklahoma, Bama, A&M, Wisconsin, Georgia, Iowa, Virginia. We got defending champ Louisville, Auburn, USC, Miami, Texas, North Carolina, Bum SU, Virginia Tech, Ole Miss, Boise State, Nebraska, TCU, Ohio State, South Carolina, Houston, who was in the Natty last year, and Michigan State. Now for Houston, I wonder if Pylan is coming back for another year, because if he is, they might have a shot, but it looks like they fell off of the face of a cliff. 81 overall, 83 offense, 76 defense. That's not Natty material. Heisman watch list, we got redshirt senior Melvin Gordon. We got Iowa quarterback Rashad Sims. We got David Wofford from UVA. We got Tyler Mason, running back from Georgia. And then we got Vontae Jackson from Wisconsin as well. So how's that going to work to running back and whatever? Since we're 4 years in, let's take a look at the next 4-year conference outlook for the 4 things here. So of course we already went over the top 25 preseason, season number 2. Then for year 5, they expect Oklahoma to be the top team. For year 6, they expect Oklahoma to remain as the top team. And then for year 7, they expect Oklahoma to be at the top again. So they expect Oklahoma to reshape and retool for these next 4 seasons. Take a look at who the best players in the nation are. We got Melvin Gordon, Aaron Lynch, Brandon Williams, Brock Stannick, Everett Golseth, Drew Meyer, Kevin Rain, Nick Martin, Michael Holmes, Kyle Harris. So we're approaching that territory, boys, where a lot of these guys are going to be completely made up and all computer generated. And that's, in my opinion, where things completely get all the way fun. All right, boys, here we are at the end of season number 4. BCS rankings heading into the conference championship week are upon us. Not a single undefeated team. We got 10-2 Bama leading the charge, taking on number 3 UGA in the SEC championship. Notre Dame, of course, they get the smooth sail. We got UGA, LSU's on the outside looking in. So that's 4 SEC schools in the top 4. There's 3 SEC schools in the top 4, excuse me. Cal 9-2, Vitek number 6 taking on number 23 FSU. Nebraska, the only other team in the top 10 with an SEC championship game taking on IU. I don't think that they could possibly jump these other guys at 9-2 who don't have games. But other than that, I don't really see them making any splash unless UGA because even if UGA gets that dub, bro, they're going to jump to the top and Notre Dame might just stay still. All right, boys, here we are back in Atlanta for another SEC championship. This game dictates a lot pretty much every year so far in this sim. But I think we're in for a doozy, as they would say, man. Let's go ahead quarter by quarter, and we're just going to sit back and take a look, see what happens. UGA scores first. Bama gets stopped. UGA has the ball, and they are driving. Here in the second quarter, UGA goes up 14-0. Bama has yet to answer. 17-0 UGA. Finally, Alabama scores right before the half. 17-7. Here in the third quarter, Bama gets a stop. They can't score. UGA gets 3. Bama finally scores. It is 20-14 here in the fourth quarter. Bama gets a pass drop on 4th down. Looks like they went for it. They were being aggressive. They get a stop on UGA. They miss a field goal. 3:35 left. 6-yard rush. 15-yard pass. 4-yard rush. Penalty versus the offense. That's 3rd and 9. Let's take a look at this 3rd and 9 and see what Bama could do. All right, boys. 3rd and 9. Bama back to pass, play action. They're taking a shot deep. Oh my goodness, what a almost catch by number 15. Good defense out there by the corner. All right, boys, so Bama ended up getting a stop. UGA was forced to punt. Here we are, a minute 31 left in the fourth quarter. That's why I'm so glad we're on a more recent game. This is something I wanted to do in the 20-year sim, but of course they didn't have Super Sim back then. Bama back to pass, man. This is for all the marbles for a shot at the Natty, and they're going to take a shot and nearly picked off on the very first pass. Why is Nick Saban and them calling plays like they don't have a lot of time to get down the field? 125 in college football is more than enough. All right, man, 2nd and 10 here. Bama coming out underneath center. Not really sure. Hopefully they don't keep it on the ground. That would be completely stupid. They are going to be back to pass. Max protect. Number 16 has a lot of time to throw. He finally finds his target, and it's nearly picked off once again. Looks like UGA is just completely strapping up out here. All right, 3rd and 10 here for Bama. Of course, this is 4 down territory, man. UGA does blitz, and they big-time coverage there, and that's a big-time drop for Bama. All right, boys, 4th and 10, minute 15 left. This is 100% for the game. Can't believe Bama, like the one short pass they tried was dropped, but they've been taking shots, and it looks like there's going to be a false start. So it's going to be a 4th and 15. No, offsides, excuse me. Encroachment by James DeLoach. He's going to make this 4th down a lot more manageable. All right, 4th and 5 here for Bama, coming out in a pistol set. Let's see what it is they can do. They go with a screen. I don't agree with that play call, and that's going to be turnover on downs. Nick Saban would have called something so weak like that, bro. All right, boys, so UGA is going to get the dub here in the SEC Championship. And for all things considered, I don't see why they wouldn't jump to that #1 spot. You know what I mean? But we're going to wait and see. The BCS times were weird and strange place for sure. All right, boys, so a familiar face, Marcus Mariota, is going to win the Heisman here for Oregon. 4,500 yards passing, another 910 on the ground with 54 total touchdowns, 339 first place votes. Absolutely ran away with the vote. Shout out to him, man. You know what I mean? Mariota did win one IRL. So coming out here, take a look at award winners. Marcus Mariota also won the Maxwell. He won the Walter Camp. The Benedict goes to Delvin Van Dyke. Then the Gursky goes to Devin Van Dyke. I don't know why I call him Delvin. O'Brien goes to Marcus Mariota. Walker goes to Melvin Gordon for the 2nd straight season. Right? Yeah, I believe so. Biletnikoff goes to D. Austin, a receiver from Marcus Mariota. The Mackey goes to Mike Roberts. Nick Martin wins the Outland. The Remington goes to Kyle Harris. The Lombardi goes to Brandon Melton. The best linebacker goes to Devin Van Dyke. The Thorpe goes to Lorenzo Fisher out of Rutgers. Jersey stand up. The Groza goes to Doug Daniels, and the guy goes to Lee Brown, and then the best returner goes to Devin Blackman from Oregon. In the nation, we got Preston from SMU, narrowly beating out Mariota for the most passing yards in the season. The only 2 quarterbacks to throw for 4,000 plus yards. On the ground, Keith Marshall, 1,800 yards, 18. On the ground, Keith Marshall led all rushers with 1859. Receiving wise goes to Lewis out of SMU. Tackle leader goes to Davis and Hobson out of San Jose State and NC State. Sack leader goes to Sanders from Central Michigan with 13. The pick leader is going to be Brown from Baylor and Parsons from FAU. And then the longest field goal of the season is going to go to Carey from Rutgers and Morgan from UGA. All right, boys, so take a look at the bowl games. UGA will indeed be taking on Notre Dame in the national championship. Cotton Bowl, South Carolina, Iowa State. Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma, Cal. Florida State, get that taste out of my mouth. Bum SU, Arkansas State in the Orange Bowl. Wow, Arkansas State went 10-2. LSU, Louisville in the Sugar Bowl. Nebraska, Oregon in the Rose Bowl. Gator Bowl, Florida, Michigan. Let's see, Capital One Bowl, Alabama, Michigan State. Chick-fil-A Bowl, Mississippi State, Georgia Tech. Texas Tech, Wisconsin, Virginia, Stanford. So we got some good-ass bowl games going on here. All right, boys, here we are for season number 4's Natty. They said Notre Dame was going to be one of the top teams, boys, and they are just that. They're the number 2 team in the nation currently, taking on UGA. This is going to be a pretty good game. We've only seen like really one blowout in the Natties, so let's see exactly what's going to go on in this one. All right, boys, let's go ahead and get to simming of this game. We're going to go to end the game. We're going to keep an eye on the clock and everything. Notre Dame strikes first. They're up 10-7, 10-10. We got ourselves a real good ball game, 13-10. Going into the locker room up 20-10, and looks like Notre Dame could possibly run away with it. UGA has something to say about it. So here they are, down 7 going into the 4th quarter, and 3rd and 2 for Notre Dame here. Can they convert? 5-yard penalty on the defense makes it easy. 12-2, 13-14. 3rd and 14, excuse me. We got a 4th and 7, and it's going to be a no good field goal by Notre Dame. UGA 3-yard rush, 8-yard rush, interception. Their quarterback was intercepted with 3:52 left. That ain't really ideal. Everett Golson passed to Williams. This time Williams drops the pass, 3rd and 10. This is a big down, 17-yard pickup by Neal. And what happened? Everett Golson throws a pick this time, and Williams picks him off. So we got 3:11 left here. UGA driving up and down the field, trying to make something shake, and they are approaching the red zone, 3rd and 1. They do pick up that first down. 30-yard rush by Marshall, 2nd and 7. Big 3rd and 3. Let's jump in with 2 minutes left here. We're also going to take a look at the kick if they don't pick up this first down to see if it's going to be yay or nay. But we got ourselves a good one, man. This is what natties are supposed to be like. They handed off to Keith Marshall. He's been one of the best backs in the nation throughout this whole entire sim, and he, continuously breaks his own record for, yards in the season. Over 2,000 here. We got 153 left. Let's see if UGA can punch it in and score here. They're coming out in the I form, so they're not even really disguising what it is they're trying to do. They say, look, bro, we bigger than y'all, we stronger than y'all, and we're going to do what we want. We're going to turn around and hand the ball off to our running back. This time he's stuffed, but he still found a way to get positive yardage out of it. All right, boys, we got a 2nd and 7 here. 1:20 left, UGA with the rock. They need 6 to tie this one up. And, depending on if they score or not, how much time will they leave for Everett Golson and his Notre Dame squad? Quarterback's back to pass. He hits his man on the sideline, picking up, what was that, 1? And a big-time 3rd down coming up right here. All right, 3rd and 6 here for UGA. I just missed what it said their 3rd down conversion rate was today. Oh, and it looks like we got an encroachment. That is definitely going to help UGA. Notre Dame just a little bit too eager to jump that snap count, and that's going to give an extra half a distance to the goal because of where we are. So it's not a first down like I thought it was going to be. It doesn't give them necessarily all the yards, but it's going to make the 3rd down a little bit more manageable. They can still get a first down here before trying to punch it in. 1:12 left in the ball game, man. I believe it's going to be a handoff. They're going to go with that option. This is such a dumb play call. All right, boys, 4th and 8. This is the biggest down of the game for UGA. They have 3 timeouts. They didn't use any of them. I mean, they didn't really need to on this drive. We need a big-time pass from his quarterback. He has all day to throw. They only rushed 3. He completes the pass, but it's going to be shy of the first down marker. And Notre Dame might have secured the bag in the natty here in this game. UGA does have 3 timeouts. 0-yard rush, they use a timeout. 7-yard rush, they use a timeout. Now, here's the last timeout. 4 for 9 on 3rd downs today is Notre Dame. 3rd and 2, Everett Golson under center. Do they hand it off? Do they go for the pass? They are going to hand it off, and he gets the first down. That's the ball game. All right, boys, that's going to do it. Notre Dame is season 4's national champion. EA Sports in the BCS bowl ranking system, the top 25 system actually predicted correctly that Notre Dame was a top national contender as they came out here and got the job done. Everett Golson, I believe this is going to be his last season, so he's going to ride off into the sunset. All right, boys, take a look at these bowl results. We already know what happened in the Natty. South Carolina beat Iowa State. TCU beat Arkansas. Oklahoma beat Cal. MSU beat Arkansas State, shocker. LSU lost to Louisville. Oregon beat Nebraska. Illinois beat UTEP. Michigan beat Florida. Michigan State beat Bama. Iowa beat Vandy. Stanford beat Virginia. And then Georgia Tech beat Mississippi State. Beat the shit out of Mississippi State. And Texas Tech beat Wisconsin. All right, boys, here we are at the start of season 5. And we're actually going to skip the top recruiting classes in the nation. We're going to come straight to see who the best players are. We are only at 199 overall. We got a 98 overall kicker, punter, 97 overall kicker, punter, another 97 overall punter. The highest rated skill position player is going to be a 96 overall running back from Boise State. And then you don't see another skill position player until 95 of Alex Ross from Oklahoma. So things are changing a bit. I expect to see non-undefeated teams in the Natty more and more as this goes on. Notre Dame comes in as the preseason number 1. UGA, Oklahoma, LSU, Oregon, Nebraska, Bama, Florida State, Iowa, Michigan State are going to round out your top 10. Heisman watch is going to be Rashad Sims, once again from Iowa. He was on there last year, I believe. Then we got Trevor Knight from Oklahoma. We got Joseph Flanagan from Penn State. We got Tommy Armstrong from Nebraska. Then we got Justin Thomas from Georgia Tech. So this right here should be the very last year of people who were already in the game when we plugged it in, because these are the 5th-year guys that we are seeing. Now take a look at the conference outlook. They got Notre Dame being number 1 this season, but then number 20, number 7, number 10. Number 1 next year, they got LSU. They got those guys being number 1 for the next 3 seasons. I actually forgot about that. They got Ohio State being number 2 next season. They got Bama being number 2 the season after that. And then in 2019, they got Bama being number 2. So it's going to be a lot of the same teams, man. But as you can see, man, these sims get crazier and crazier. And that's really the best part about why we do these videos. All right, boys, here we are to end of season number 2. And Bama and Florida are the number 1 and 2 team in the nation. They'll be playing in the SEC championship. Now, IRL, right? If you guys are familiar with the BCS era of college football, before college football playoff, no matter who won or lost this game, these 2 teams would be in the national championship the next game. Because they would say the best 2 teams in the nation played each other and the best 2 teams in the nation lost to each other. So Nevada not having a conference championship, Boise State not having a conference championship, both of them being in the Mountain West, not having to duke it out versus each other, they wouldn't get any love from the computers. Texas couldn't even jump up because they didn't play a conference championship game. Oregon will probably jump over Boise State and Nevada. If you guys remember that era of college football, y'all let me know down in the comment section below. But that's the type of shit that happened. If you guys remember stuff like that, man, put a 33 in the chat. Put the number 33 in the chat right now. But the top 10, Bama, Florida, Nevada, Boise State, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Nebraska, Air Force. All right, guys, here we are, a familiar place that's going to determine what happens in the national championship. That's going to be the SEC championship. And we're going to see who's going to come out on top, Bama or Florida. Bama's up 7-0. Pretty back and forth there in the first quarter. Florida finally scores 7-7. Bama goes down and gets 3. Florida gets stopped. Bama gets the ball. Going into the locker room, 10-7. So pretty damn good game, man. Bama goes up 10. Florida comes right back and answers. Florida goes down and they're driving on it to start off the first quarter here. We're going to go possession by possession. Florida ties the ball game up. Bama has the rock. They're forced to punt. Florida has the ball once again. What a drive. That sounds silly. What a drive there. And we're going to jump into this game late. 18-yard pickup by Bama. Bama fumbled the bag late in the game last season, the SEC championship versus Georgia. Let's see what they can do here in this one, man. 150 left in the ball game. Looks like they got the same QB as well, so hopefully he'll learn from some of his mistakes because he definitely played them their way out of a natty last season, man. And they're going to run the ball here. I'm not mad at it. Got to have better run stick than that, but he ends up getting positive yards. Pump fake, back to pass is number 16, Morris again. He hits his tight end over the middle, and he's going to pick up the first down. That's good because they don't have to use any timeouts. Alec Morris, man, back to pass, max protect, only rushing 4. Pass over the middle, caught by number 89. Bama's going to use their first timeout. Damn it, I don't want to use their timeout, guys. Bro, I was trying to hurry up to Super Sim. And now freaking I don't want to affect the game in any way, but I don't want to use their last timeout either, bro. So that's tough. And I throw a pick. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, y'all can dock me for that. Maybe I should have wasted the timeout. You know what? I'll do something. I will do something real quick. All right, boys. So for Florida, I'm gonna kneel the ball right here. I'm gonna kneel the ball and I'm gonna give Bama the ball back because I feel like that was gonna be the game either way. All right, we go 2nd and 10. 32 seconds left for Bama. Only thing I'm sad about, Florida really doesn't get a chance to score again if it comes to it. But right now, Bama doesn't have a chance in hell, bro. Are they going to run a no huddle here? They do. 21 seconds left, 3rd and 9. This is for the marbles. They got to pick up a first down here. They can't do a check down. They check it down. So Bama unable to get the job done out here, bro. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll get a chance to take the 3. They did, and they missed it. They took the 3, and they missed it. So they even got double the chance to make it happen. And Florida is going to get the dub here, and they're probably they're going to remain the number 1 team in the nation, and that's probably going to put them in a natty. Hopefully not against Nevada. I would much rather them not move Bama and keep them at number 2, but it's a video game. It's a little bit more fair than what the computers were IRL. All right, boys, here we are. Heisman winner for season number 5 is going to be Boo F's Chris Williams. 3,300 passing yards, 842 yards on the ground, 44 touchdowns. Nevada has a running back in 2nd place. Makes sense why they're in the top 3. So here we are. Bowl games is going to be Nevada versus Boo F. Boo F is going to get the dub. Rutgers versus Georgia. Auburn versus Oklahoma. Fiesta Bowl. Texas versus Notre Dame. Georgia Tech versus Syracuse. Bama shouldn't have dropped all the way to 4. 3 at the most. They're going to be taking on number 3 Boise State. Nebraska versus USC in the Rose Bowl, Gator Bowl, Kentucky, Ohio State, excuse me. And then, let's see, Tennessee, Penn State in the Outback Bowl, Chick-fil-A Bowl, Ole Miss, Virginia Tech. So we got some good games. All right, boys, so the Natty has made its way back to the Orange Bowl, and I don't see a world in which Nevada actually competes, even though they go up 7-0. They're going to get stopped, and this offense might be the real deal, but Florida is got a good offense as well. Their defense got to stop, but they get stopped. Pretty back and forth, I ain't going to lie. Nevada is sticking into this game, a lot longer than I thought. UGA, they're up 24-10. That's where things are going to get ugly, and that's going to be your final score as BUF is going to be this season's national champions. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a look at who the top teams in the nation are. You know what I mean? The same old we've been doing, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. I enjoy it. We got Florida, Bama, Texas, USC, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Boise State, Oregon, Virginia Tech, Iowa. Heisman watch list is going to be last year's winner, Chris Williams, 6'7", 241 quarterback. That's crazy. Stephen Howard from Arkansas State, Casey Gonzalez from Georgia Tech, Brent Hawk from Nevada, and then Brad Smith from Boise. Top players in the nation, once again, only 199 overall. That's going to be right guard, Kevin Cobb. USC has the best quarterback. Best running back is going to be... So wait, the dude up there for the Heisman isn't even Georgia Tech's best running back. That's crazy. Best fullback is from Baylor. Best receiver from Texas. Best tight end from Mizzou. Best lineman from Wisconsin, fitting. Left guard from Georgia Tech. Center from BUF. Bum SU has the right guard. Right tackle is from Iowa. Left end from Bama. Right end from NIU. D tackle from LSU. Left outside linebacker ASU. Georgia Tech has the best middle linebacker. Oklahoma has the best right outside linebacker. Nebraska has the best corner. Best free safety from Bama. Best strong safety from LSU. Notre Dame has the best kicker, and Michigan has the best punter. All right, boys, here we are, into the regular season of season 6. Boise State is the #1 team in the nation. Arkansas is number 2. They're going to be taking on number 3, Georgia, in the SEC championship. That's Georgia's third. It's like their 3rd year in a row in the SEC championship. Then we got Oklahoma, USC, LSU, Troy at 11-1, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Georgia Tech. So this USC-Oregon game is pretty important because USC could possibly jump up. We're just going to go ahead and sim that one regularly first. USC did get the dub. They controlled their own destiny. Now they just have to wait and see. Then we got this number 3 versus number 2 matchup. We're going to go ahead and jump into this one like we always do. And as always, man, the SEC championship is helping determine what's going to happen and who's going to make it to the Natty. All right, boys, here we are back in Atlanta per usual, man. We're going to go quarter by quarter in this one. Georgia strikes first. They get to stop, and they're going to score again, up 14-0 going into the second quarter. Arkansas might be biting off more than they can chew, even though they were the better team. I don't know if they beat Georgia throughout the regular season or not, but being down 21-0 in the first quarter, first half, isn't necessarily the way you go about it. Georgia's up 28-0. We could pretty much say this one's going to be over 35-0, and Arkansas luckily doesn't get shut out in the SEC championship, but they got the brakes beat off them 42-14. All right, boys, so Brad Smith from Boise is going to be this season's Heisman winner. 3,000 yards passing, 1,100 yards on the ground with 41 total touchdowns. But it was close. Oregon's quarterback Baker was right behind him in votes. But, at the end of the day, it was just too much. Award winners, we got Brad Smith also winning the Maxwell. He also wins the Walter Camp. The Benedict goes to Woodard from Texas. The Nagurski goes to Dusty Sims. The O'Brien goes to Joey Baker. The Doak Walker goes to Marcus Mason of Troy. Biletnikoff goes to Joe Bennett. The Mackey goes to Jamal Wright. Arthur Good wins the Outland. The Remington goes to Arthur Good as well. Lombardi, Dusty Sims. The best linebacker to Woodard. Tim Davis wins the Thorpe. The Groza goes to James Smith. The guy goes to Matt Horn. And Brian Stone is your returner of the year. Take a look at the bowl games, man. We got Georgia, who actually leaped Boise State, but they're still going to be playing them in the Natty. Other big games, Florida, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma, Cincinnati should be a good one. Virginia Tech, LSU. Troy, Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. Who would ever thought that? Nebraska, USC in the Rose Bowl. Texas A&M, Purdue. Arkansas, Penn State. Bama, Wisconsin in the Outback Bowl. Chick-fil-A Bowl. Auburn and Georgia Tech. We got Michigan versus Virginia. So we got a good slate of games for sure. All right, boys, here we are. Another season, another Natty. We have yet to have any type of back-to-back national champions. There's been a lot of parity in this sim. That's pretty dope. We've been having some crazy top 25s, but is Boise's offense strong enough to beat an SEC opponent? We're going to have to wait and see as we sim through the first quarter. Georgia scores first. Boise scores right before the end of the first quarter. So right now, pretty even game. Boise goes up 14-7. Georgia comes back and answers. Georgia gets the ball back. They go up 21-14. And Boise State is going to fall short of scoring right before the end of the half. So let's go ahead and sim this third quarter here. Boise gets stopped. They get the ball back. They go ahead and punch it in, 21-21. They get a stop on UGA. UGA gets it back. And here we are heading into the fourth quarter. Get them fours up, 21 all. Let's go possession by possession. Boise State fumbles in the red zone. That's unfortunate. UGA goes right back, but they're going to have to be forced to punt. They don't go 3 and out, but they still don't really gain that many yards. Boise goes down 28-21 with 57 seconds and 2 timeouts left for UGA. Let's see if they can go the length of the field. This is a 2-minute drill on steroids, you know what I mean, under a minute. But 2 timeouts and first down, stops the clock. That's not bad. They only rush 3. They take advantage. The quarterback gets lit up. They're going to have to waste the timeout. If I was him, I would have loved to see him get to the sideline there. But, you know what I mean? That's why he's in this situation. And once again, boys, I put myself on. I pressed the play, but I'm not pressing anything. You guys see me holding the controller. Let's let the computer make a play. One hand catch by Gray. That's going to be a first down. Don't run a no huddle because then I'm going to be stuck on the line. All right, boys, that's exactly what they're going to do, run a no huddle. I'm just going to control the D tackle. You know what I mean? He's still going to play without me, and they clock it. Thank God, because I don't want to seem like I'm purposely trying to affect these ball games. You know what I mean? 45 seconds left here. UGA with the rock. 2nd and 10, fresh off of clocking it. They are approaching the 50-yard line. They put a man in motion as their tight end. Let's see if they actually work it up the field, if they take more shots. And the quarterback's going to put it on the ground once again. He's going to slide, but he's going to have to get back to the line. They're going to have to clock this one, or they're going to have to call a play. I wouldn't clock it on 3rd and 4, but this game is stupid. 3rd and 4, they're actually going to run a play here. 30 seconds left. He's back to pass. Is he going to break it down and run it again? He does. Very, very predictable. And they're going to take a very, very bad sack there. And they're going to have to use this timeout, I would think. They're not using the timeout. You know what I'm saying? They're not using the timeout. 4th and 7. Under center. This looks like a terrible play call. He's going to run it again. He's got a lot of room up front. Clock does stop on the first down. Are they going to get back to the line, or are they going to do what it is that they need to do? They are. They're going to have to take a shot here. They're going to clock it. Okay. Not mad at it. They're losing a lot of time. Clock the ball, dude. 5 seconds. They're only going to have enough for one play. So we're going to have to see how far Hines can actually throw the ball here, as he's going to try to get a pass in to the end zone. You guys already know we've lost a game here on this channel a time or 2 on Hail Marys. I've also won a game a few times on last second throws and Hail Marys. So let's see what can happen here on the 2nd and 10. Hines showing off the arm there. It does have enough, and it's caught off of the tip. UGA catches a touchdown pass off of the tip. They are an extra point away from tying this ball game up. You can't make up this type of stuff. You can't write a script any better than that. Oh my goodness, I did not expect to see that, and Boise State is going to try to ice them here. So this is where I'm going to jump in and just let them kick the kick. I'm not going to call a timeout. It is an ice kick. The kick is up. The kick is good through the uprights. We are going to OT, ladies and gentlemen. I got to go pick up my daughter from school, but we are going to wait here and see how this game turns out. All right, boys. Boise's going to get the... All right, boys. So Boise's going to be on offense first here in OT. Brad Smith, the Heisman winner, back to pass. They rush 4. He's going to take off. He runs into a few of his linemen. He's kind of stuck. He's going to stay patient and nearly picks up the first down. 2nd and 1 here. That play was a little, you know what I mean? It was scary, but he showed off his resilience. All right, boys. We got a 2nd and 1 here. Brad Smith back to pass once again. They're going to go with the speed option, and it's picked off. I seen the writing was on the wall. And not only is UGA going to win this natty, in a very, very improbable fashion, what a freaking game, as the SEC wins another one. UGA finally gets their natty. Boise State definitely let them off the freaking hook. This is literally one of the best games ever on my channel. That was the dopest game ever, man. Let me see wows in the comment section right now. I can't believe my eyes. I cannot believe we just saw what the hell we just saw. 3 natties in 6 seasons for the SEC. We got Bama, we got BUF, and we got UGA. But UGA scoring on a Hail Mary tip drill. The DB did what he was supposed to do, batted the ball down, but the rest of his teammates weren't there. Dog, that wasn't even a greatest game. I didn't even get a prompt for that, but that's literally one of the greatest games I've ever seen in NCAA, bro. Oh my goodness, that's nuts. All right, boys, so third time's a charm here. This is my third time recording the rest of this video. We are here on our final 4 seasons. As you guys can see, we got fired from Louisiana Tech, so here we are with Syracuse. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the BCS rankings, man, and see what we're looking like going into conference championship week. ECU #1 in the nation. Louisville's back in the mix at #2 in the nation, 12-0. USC, Texas, Ohio State, North Carolina, Notre Dame, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Penn State are your top 10. ECU has to play Tulsa in the Conference USA Championship. Louisville has smooth sailing in the Big East. USC has to play Oregon, and that's pretty much the 3 games that are going to matter the most. ECU is pretty much the only team that won't be in the Natty if they don't win the championship. All right, boys, here we are at East Carolina University. Who would ever thought we would be at the Conference USA Conference Championship in order to decide the fate of the national championship? But here we are, man. That's why we love to do these sims. We love to see how things happen. And ECU, I would expect, will blow out Tulsa. As they get a stop here, they're having trouble scoring, but they are up 7-0. And it seems like they're in control of this game. They're just not finishing drives. There they are before half, going up 14-0. They get another stop. Tulsa's not going to quit. They're 14-3, 16-3 here in the fourth quarter, 16-10. Up 14 with 1:38 left. I don't think there's going to be enough time for Tulsa to do anything. ECU ended up getting 3 more points, and that's going to be it. 27-10 is your final score here in the Conference USA Championship. So it looks like we're going to have ECU versus Louisville. Louisville could be our first team in this sim to win more than 1 championship. So who would ever thought that Louisville would have the chance to be, you know what I mean, to have 2 championships, more than 1 championship in the sim, but yet here we are. All right, boys, so this year's Heisman Trophy winner, Bobby Reyes from Texas, the quarterback threw for nearly 3,000 yards, ran for another 803, had 42 total touchdowns. Louisville's running back, C. Miller, almost, well, he was in second. He didn't almost get first place. I mean, Reyes kind of ran away with that. We got an Ohio State quarterback, a Wisconsin running back, and a Miami quarterback all on the list. Take a look at this season's award winners, man. Bobby Reyes won the Maxwell. Corey Miller won the Walter Camp. Ian Smith won the Bednarik. Ray Beck won the Nagurski. Bobby Reyes won the O'Brien. Corey Miller won the Doak Walker. Biletnikoff goes to Sean Preston of Notre Dame. The Mackey goes to Heath Sparks from the U. The Outland goes to PJ Powers from ECU. He also wins the Remington. The Lombardi goes to Ray Beck. The best linebacker goes to Ian Smith. The Thorpe goes to Daniel Lehrer from Boise State. The Groza goes to Justin Wright from Boise State. Jonathan Lester wins the guy from Penn State, and the best returner goes to Marcus Johnson. Take a look at the leaders, man. No 4,000-yard passers, but Sykes, Sykes from FIU is going to lead everybody in passing yards. Rushing leader is going to be Corey Miller with 2,000 yards. Receiving leader is going to be Jay Brown from UCF. The tackle leader is going to be T. Jones from Idaho. Not often do you see an Idaho performer up here leading the nation in anything. Branch leads the nation in sacks with 13. Pick leader is going to be Shaw from Penn State with 10. And the longest field goal in the nation is going to be a three-way tie between Walton, Summers, and Miller with 56 yards apiece. All right, boys, so as we knew, the BCS National Championship game is going to be Louisville versus ECU. Real quick, I want to see how they match up. ECU is slightly better than Louisville, but Louisville, man, they've been good pretty much throughout this whole entire sim. Big games: Cotton Bowl, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State; Fiesta Bowl, Texas, Virginia; Orange Bowl, Wake Forest, Ohio State; Sugar Bowl, Missouri, Notre Dame; Rose Bowl, Wisconsin, USC. All right, boys, here we are in the Fiesta Bowl for the national championship. We got ECU taking on Louisville, one of the most improbable national championships that we'll ever see in the sim. But here we are yet again, bro. And let's see, let's go quarter by quarter here. And I want to see who's going to strike first, because, you know, it's ECU and then Louisville's right behind them. And here we are going into the second quarter. It's going to be a tie ball game. Pretty low scoring. All but like one natty has been a really, really tight ball game where we've had to jump in and see things late. And going into the locker room, ECU leads 14-7. Louisville didn't take 3, and they went ahead and they didn't get anything out of that last drive. All right, so at the end of the third quarter, it's going to be 21-10. Here I go possession by possession. If ECU scores again, they do. This game is pretty much going to be all but over. Down 10 with 2:38 left. Let's go ahead and sim the possession. They're down 13 with a minute. And a fumble recovery on the very first play of Louisville's possession, and that's going to do it here, boys. All right, boys, so the clock is going to hit triple zeros on this one, and ECU is going to be your champions for this year. 31-18 is going to be your final score here in year 7. For some reason, you know, this game glitches out. We don't always get to see the team celebrate, but we've had literally a different champion in every single season. All right, boys, taking a look at these bowl results here. We already know who won the national championship. But let's see. Fiesta Bowl goes to Texas. They beat Virginia by 7. Ohio State beats Wake Forest by 10. Notre Dame beats the crap out of Mizzou. Wisconsin beats USC, and then let's see, Alabama loses to Michigan. Georgia beats Michigan State. South Carolina beats Penn State. So yeah, some good bowl games. Season 7 is in the books, man, and this has been a real shocker when it comes to see who's going to really reign supreme in this whole entire sim. Because in the 20 year, we had one team that really outclassed everybody. All right, boys, here we are at the end of the regular season of season number 8. Texas and Arizona State are your 2 undefeated teams. Texas does not have a conference championship game in the Big 12, but Arizona State does have to take on Stanford in the Pac-12 championship. Ohio State takes on Nebraska. Nebraska is right behind them. Bum SU takes on Georgia Tech. Boise State doesn't have anybody in front of them. So, you know what I mean? Things can really get shooken up here between the 2, 3, 4, and 5 schools. All right, boys, so we're going to start with the least important game first. We're going to go Florida State, Georgia Tech. And Bum SU gets the dub 36-28. So they handle their handle, and they just have to wait and see. Next up, Georgia and Alabama. This one kind of doesn't matter, so we'll just simulate this one regularly as well. UGA does get the dub. Alabama, man, they've been struggling. This is probably the most important game, but we're going to wait to do Stanford and Arizona State. Let's jump into Nebraska, Ohio State first, because one of these teams can jump somebody. All right, boys, here we are, Big Ten Championship. I believe this is the first time we've been in a Big Ten Championship to see what could possibly go in and out of the national championship game. Remember, man, Texas is sitting pretty because they don't have to play a conference championship game, but they are undefeated. Let's see if Nebraska can come out here and get the job done versus Ohio State, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a big, important game. Nebraska goes down and scores first. Ohio State gets stopped. Probably missed their 3. Nebraska driving, they get stopped. Ohio State gets 3. Nebraska can't do anything. Ohio State can't do anything. Ohio State finally gets 3. Nebraska gets stopped. This is a pretty defensive game, man, for a Big Ten school, since back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Oh my goodness, these schools, hold on. These schools cannot score, bro. 7-6. Ohio State with the ball, 3rd and 1. This is a big 3rd and 1 right here with less than 2 minutes left. They do still have all 3 timeouts, so they could possibly get a stop. Here we are, back to passes. Ohio State looking for a man open. He has one. Then he's across the 50, takes a big hit, but he holds on to the rock. Ohio State is going to come out here with the no huddle. So they're trying to be aggressive here. They really want to save their timeouts. Here we are in the shotgun. Running back to his left. They're only rushing 4. He hits his running back, but he drops it. Big drop pass there, man, but they will live to fight another down. All right, boys, here I am forgetting to go into Super Sim, and they called a play. Not controlling anything. Ohio State back to pass once again. He's got Brown open over the middle, and they're going to bring him down just shy of the 25-yard line. All right, boys, Ohio State still running that no huddle. Remember, I'm not controlling anything. You will not see me pressing anything. They're going to blitz. It's going to be a play action. He's out to pass. He's got a man in the flats, and Foster is going to get hit out of bounds. 2nd and 6, 1:35 left. All right, boys, got a 2nd and 6 here. Ohio State really driving up and down this field right now, man. They're going to run a counter. Number 30 has a big hole. He's down shy of the 10, probably at the 11.5-yard line. Ohio State, you know what I mean, they only need a field goal to take a lead here. So if I was Nebraska's coach, I might let them score. Or, you know, I might be starting to use some of my timeouts. And, ooh, that was almost a big, like negative play for Ohio State there. All right, boys, 2nd and 10 here, 1:28 left. Like I said, at the 11.5-yard line. 3 timeouts for both teams, man. So we're going to see what happens. Running back fakes the block. He goes out to the flats. Quarterback's going to take off. He breaks the tackle. He's got a lot of green. He gets stopped shy of the first down marker. And Nebraska finally going to use their first timeout. That's what I was saying. Eventually, I would have had to use one. Ohio State just 3 for 14 on 3rd downs today here. 3rd and 4. Almost get Nebraska to jump off sides. Pass over the middle. Quick strike. Touchdown, Ohio State. And they are this close from winning the game, man. Will they go for 2? So, of course, naturally, Ohio State will come out here and go for 2. They want to go up a full touchdown. This could be a very, very big stop for this Nebraska defense. Quarterback back to pass. Chop block out there by the running back. They stuff it. The quarterback took off. Shout out to them for coming up getting the tackle. So, a touchdown will win it here for Nebraska. Back to pass. Ohio State only rushes 4. Big time sack off the edge. Back to pass once again, only rushing 4. Oh, dropped pass by the running back there. Big 3rd down coming up for Nebraska. 3rd down. Looks like Nebraska only is like 1 for 10 on 3rd downs, I think it said. 3rd and 13. Ohio State only rushing 4 all day to throw. He's got a man over the middle. He's got a 1st down. Timeout, Nebraska. Don't know why they call the timeout. Clock stops on the first down, but hey, man, they do what they want to do. So the first positive play of the drive here for Nebraska with 53 seconds left. I would assume them to try to take some shots here and there. Only rushing for is Ohio State. They got a man over the middle once again. First down, Nebraska. 49 seconds left. They need to get on the ball. All right, looks like Nebraska's going to clock it. I would have ran a play here, honestly. While you changing things up when you're clocking, there's no need to do anything like that, Patterson. Let's go. You wasting precious second. All right, 2nd and 10 here. 45 seconds left, trying to get across to 50. Patterson back to pass. He has all day to throw. Pressure coming off the edge, and he throws a pick. Late read. Picked off by number 44 for Ohio State, and that is going to all but end the game as he's down inside the 10-yard line. I mean, what a play by the corner. Kind of easy. It was kind of an easy read here, man, and Ohio State is just going to run out the clock, and they are going to be this season's Big Ten champs. They're the number 3 team in the nation. Will they jump Texas, who doesn't have a conference championship game? We also got to go ahead and jump into one of these other games in a little bit. I think it was the Pac-12 championship to see if the number 2 team in the nation can get a dub. All right, boys, here we are. Pac-12 championship in Arizona State. In Arizona. You know what I'm saying? What is it? In Tempe, Arizona? I believe Arizona State is. Packed house here, for sure. Undefeated Arizona State taking on 7-5 Stanford. Will Stanford be able to play spoiler? I don't think they have what it takes. Arizona State strikes first. They get a stop. They score again, 10-0. Stanford isn't going to lay down and cry. 10-7. Stanford gets the ball back again. They're stuffed. Arizona State doesn't do anything. Stanford doesn't do anything. Pretty back and forth. Another low-scoring game. Arizona State finally goes up 6. They go up, I can't count, 13. And it looks like that's going to be it. Arizona State doesn't score a lot of points to get the job done here, but they do win 20-7. All right, boys. So Texas's Bobby Reyes wins back-to-back Heisman. He throws for even less yards, runs for less yards, but he scores a few more touchdowns with 43. Close-ass race. Roberson, the quarterback for Arizona State, was on his ass. 301 votes to 288. Take a look at those award winners, man. Roberson is going to win the Maxwell from Arizona State. He also wins the Walter Camp. The Benedict goes to Sean Benson. Nagurski goes to Chad Sanders. Trent Roberson wins the O'Brien as well. Not really understanding how he didn't win the Heisman. That looks like a snub to me. Justin Gant wins the Doak Walker. Biletnikoff goes to Lamar King at FIU. The Mackey goes to David Hodge. The Outland goes to Justin Wilson. The Remington goes to Sean Hudson. Lombardi goes to Johnny Porter. The best linebacker goes to Mark Moore, Sean Benson also wins the Thorpe. The Groza goes to Charles Washington. The guy goes to Lance Ingram, and the best returner goes to Ian Moore. Take a look at the bowl games, boys, and we get exactly what we thought we would get. Arizona State, number 1. Texas, number 2. That's going to be the Natty. Let's see. Fiesta Bowl, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Florida State, USC, Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Georgia, Rutgers. Hey, Jersey in the building. Let's go. Rose Bowl going to be Ohio State, Boise State. If Ohio State didn't lose a game this season, man, they might have jumped Texas because they had that bowl game. But since Texas is undefeated with the computers, it's going to be hard for them boys to really jump in there. Let's take a look at Texas's schedule, Ohio State's schedule. They lost to Wisconsin earlier in the season, and they could never recover because Texas remained undefeated. All right, boys, here we are. Where the hell are we? All right, boys, here we are in the Sugar Bowl. We're in New Orleans. You know what I mean? Arizona State taking on Texas. Pretty much a home game for Texas, but you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a doozy. I don't know why I said doozy. I don't know why I like that word. I just want to say that word all the time. But here we are. Let's go ahead and get a sim in this game. Texas scores first. Arizona State gets stopped, but they get the ball back. They get 6, miss their extra point. Texas goes up 14-6. ASU gets 3. Texas gets another 7. ASU needs the same. They get 6. 21-15 here in the third quarter. Texas goes up double digits once again. Arizona State trying to fight hard. Texas goes up 20, and that's going to do it here. Texas is going to be this season's national championship winners as they win here in the Sugar Bowl 42-22. Texas, it was just their year, man. All right, boys, so the official end of the season. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bowl results. We already know who won the Natty. We only look at the important bowls, right? So we look at the BCS bowls. Wisconsin loses to Oklahoma by 7. Bum SU beats USC by 7. Rutgers loses by 7 to Georgia. I wanted to say Georgia State or Georgia Tech. I don't know why. And then Boise State beats the crap out of Ohio State. Golly. Remember, Boise does have a Natty in this sim, man. So, right? Let me look. Nope, Boise doesn't have a win. They made it to the Natty, but Boise has been pretty top tier, you know what I mean, since we've started this sim. Season 8 is in the books. All right, boys, so here we are at the end of another season and another crazy BCS ranking, right? FIU's 12-0, number 1 in the nation. They just watched as everybody else beat up on each other. Somehow, a 4-loss Auburn and a 3-loss Arizona State are above a 2-loss Nebraska and a 1-loss Southern Miss. I mean, if that's the case, with FIU being up here, Southern Miss should definitely be elevated, but I digress. Ohio State's got Michigan in the conference championship. Bum SU's got Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, of course, is going to be taking on Bum SU. Alabama even has a chance to jump up just because Oklahoma doesn't have a conference championship game. I don't think I'm going to jump into any of these. I'm going to sim these straight this season, and we're just going to see who comes out on top. All right, so first up, we got number 3, Georgia Tech taking on number 4, Bum SU. Georgia Tech gets the dub. They win by 11, so number 3 bumps off number 4. We got Kentucky taking on Bama in the SEC championship. Let's see what we got here. UK beats Bama. Bama's really been struggling late in seasons. This USC game doesn't matter from us, but we'll go ahead and sim it. And they lose by 3. God dang. So, you know what I mean? Things is deep. And then we got number 2, Ohio State taking on the Michigan. And Michigan bumps off Ohio State 38-21. So Michigan plays spoiler versus Ohio State late in the season. All right, boys, here we are at the end of the season. Jeff Allen from Arkansas wins the Heisman like by a landslide. 521 first place votes. The next closest person was 92 votes. 2,800 yards passing, 888 yards on the ground, 42 total touchdowns. Take a look at the award winners. Brett Sykes wins the Maxwell. He wins the Walter Camp. The Benedict goes to Chris Smith. The Gursky goes to Courtney Houston. And Brett Skiles wins to O'Brien. Doak Walker goes to John Hayes. The Blitnikoff goes to Lamar King. Charles Berry wins to Mackey. The Outland goes to Lamont Wesley. Daniel McCoy wins to Remington. Craig King wins to Lombardi. Best linebacker Courtney Houston. Thorpe Chris White. Groza Brent Irvin. Guy Nate Wilson. And the best returner Lamar Larkin. Take a look at the bowl games, and we got a Georgia Tech FIU National Championship. I'm anxious to see what that one is going to look like. Fiesta Bowl, we got Oklahoma, Auburn, Florida State, Pitt in the Orange Bowl, Kentucky, Nebraska in the Sugar Bowl, the Rose Bowl, Michigan, Oregon State. Let's see here. Even though Florida State lost last week to Georgia Tech, they don't move down much, and they're going to still be in that BCS bowl game, so that's actually pretty dope. All right, boys, so the Natty's made his way back here at the Orange Bowl. FIU versus Georgia Tech, man. I'm loving this sim, bro. I love when the sim goes, you know, way out of what we, you know, what we think and what we know and love about college football. This is pretty dope. Georgia Tech strikes first. They get a stop. FIU finally goes down and scores. They missed their extra point. That's the end of the first quarter. FIU doesn't finish that drive with any points. We've been having some low-scoring games here. Georgia Tech scores. FIU gets 3. So we're going into the locker room 14-9. And then Georgia Tech goes up 21-16 now after FIU scores at the end of the third quarter. Let's go ahead and go possession by possession. With Georgia Tech forced to punt. FIU with the rock. They punt it right back. Here we are, 3 minutes left here. And the field goal, no good by Georgia Tech. So this is a big drive here for FIU. They get a first down on the 12-yard pickup, incomplete pass, 3rd and 10. This is a big 3rd and 10. Let's go ahead and watch it. I would assume that they might go for it here with a minute 48 left. They're 5 for 13 on 3rd down conversions. And let's see exactly what can or cannot get done. Georgia Tech rushes for a lot of time to throw. He goes to the flats, and that's a big time. So, boys, FIU is going to send the offense out here one more time. They have 3 timeouts, though. I might have tried to play some defense. You've played some good defense here. 4th and 10, only rushing 10. FIU kind of all day to throw. He takes a sack. Big time sack by Georgia Tech. This game is not over, man. There's still a lot of time left. And even if Georgia Tech gets 3 out of this drive, they can still lose this game. Here's a big 3rd down coming up. 1 timeout left for FIU. Georgia Tech 4 for 13 on 3rd downs today. And they're coming out in their patented option offense, but they do still pass out of it. Man in motion. It's going to be handoff to the up back. And that's a big stop for FIU as they're going to use their last timeout. All right, boys. So here we are. FIU's down 8. Minute 17 left. No timeouts here. These are what champions are made of, and they're going to take a sack on the very first play. That just ain't it when you have no timeouts. They brought the pressure. They couldn't pick it up. Nobody got open. Sykes, their quarterback, won so many awards, and they're going to clock it, make it into 3rd and 23. I just don't agree with that, man. I mean, that's not a good idea. All right, guys, we got a 3rd and 23 here with a minute left. Yeah. I don't see things going good here. They rush 5. He has a good pocket. He's going to take a shot deep. We've seen stranger things happen. That one's batted down, nearly picked off by Georgia Tech. All right, this is for the game right here, man. If Georgia Tech gives this up, they deserve to lose, bro. Just like what happened with Ohio State. The blitz is coming. They bring 6. They take a shot deep. He's wide open over the middle. He breaks the tackle down at the 50-yard line. FIU converts here, man. I'm loving seeing it. Hey, remember the Hail Mary score last natty for Ohio State or the Big Ten championship, whatever game that was, bro. But FIU has some fight in them. Sykes, man, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, is proving why he is that. 2nd and 10, 48 seconds left here after the spike at the 50-yard line is FIU in their offense. Georgia Tech only brings 4. A pass dropped by the running back once again. 3rd and 10. All right, boys, 3rd and 10 here. Here we go. We already know the magic that they brought out on the 4th and 23. All day to throw. Get rid of the ball, Sykes. He breaks a tackle. Ooh, miscommunication there with the receiver. He was open. 4th and 10. Does FIU have more 4th down magic here? Does Georgia Tech blitz on a 4th and long once again and then get the blitz picked up on? They are only going to rush 4. They got a man open. Big time. He dropped it. He dropped it late. What a throw by Sykes, but unable to hold on to it is his receiver. And Georgia Tech is going to be season 9's national champions. I thought we were only going to 10 seasons, but we got to do 11 because we got to do the current year that we're currently in right now. And different national champions every single season. Who is going to be that team to really set themselves apart to say that they ran this last decade plus? Right now, man, nobody is able to stake that claim. All right, boys, so here we go. We already know what happened in the Natty. Rutgers can't beat Florida. Georgia beats West Virginia. Oklahoma beats the crap out of Auburn. Bum SU loses to Pitt. Let's go. Kentucky beats Nebraska. Michigan narrowly beats Oregon State. Marshall beats Northern Illinois. South Carolina beats Wisconsin. All right, boys, here we are at the end of the 2021 season. Anxious to see who is on top here, boys. USC is the number 1 team in the nation. They got to play number 15 Oregon on the Pac-12 championship. Alabama's number 2 in the nation, and they can't lose their SEC championship. Texas, Stanford, Michigan, Nebraska, Bum SU, Arkansas, Louisiana Tech, and LSU are all in the top 10. All right, boys, it's a rainy one here in Southern California. It doesn't really rain there much, but must be a special occasion if it's raining here today. We got the Trojans, we got the Ducks. Who's going to come out on top? All right, boys, here we are. Let's get into this sim. I don't think this game should be close, but you never know in this sim, the type of sims we've been having going on here in this in this world, man. But USC has been blanked in the first half. They do not score at the end of the first half. Oregon up 7-0. They go up 14-0. USC better get it together. They finally do punch it in, and they get 10. All right, I was trying to stop it here. 1:45 left. 3 timeouts. They are inside the maroon zone in plus territory. They are down 4. They need a touchdown in order to win or have a chance to win this game. We're gonna come out in the shotgun set, 3 wide with a tight end. Let's see what kind of play they run here. Oregon only rushes 4. They got a man wide open. That's going to be a first down. All right, after the first down, here we are just outside of the red zone. 1st and 10, USC. Their offense has been struggling all day. It's going to be a play action. And they go over the middle, wide open receiver, down inside the 10. Oregon looks like they might be crumbling under the pressure. 1st and goal, a minute left here. USC coming out in an offset I form. Man in motion. They're probably definitely keeping it on the ground here. No, they actually pass. Quarterback slips. Keeps his balance. He hits his receiver who breaks the tackle, gets cleaned up. And they're going to have to use their first timeout with a minute on the dot. All right, boys, here we go. 2nd and goal. Coming out in a two running back set. Man wide open over the middle. What a read. What a play. What a touchdown. USC goes up here. They're a field goal, an extra point away from going up a complete 3. Matt Pace out here breaking records. You know the vibes. You see the vibes. Let's see. They actually hit the extra point. 50 seconds left. 3 timeouts for Oregon, though. Clock management in NCAA when you sim is never really that great, but hopefully Oregon can actually get it done because, I want to see a close game. You know what I mean? So I want to see a team actually go down the field and make something shake. He's back to pass. He doesn't see anything he likes. He's going to run, and he's going to get stopped, and that's going to be timeout number 1. I feel like these quarterbacks bail out just a little bit too early. 2nd and 8 here for Oregon. They got a 3 wide receiver set, running back in the backfield, changing some things up at the line. USC brings 4. The pressure gets in there. It's a screen, and they stuff it. Way to read and react by number 36, the linebacker. I said 36 was a linebacker. He's actually a corner who actually made that play that he made. Empty backfield set. USC rushing 3, and 4th and 10 coming up here. Oregon's offense, as we saw throughout most of the game, just isn't that potent. It isn't that good, which is crazy because that's one thing Oregon is known for. We've got a big 4th and 10 coming up here, and let's see if they're going to be able to pick it up. FIU picked up some big 4th downs in the Natty last year, and that's going to be one for Oregon. Stop short. What a play by the USC defense. Oregon is celebrating, but they might not have noticed the spot that they got. And USC is going to win the Pac-12 championship here today, and they should be going on to the Natty with that win as the #1 team in the nation. Yeah, so they're going to move on to the Natty. You know what I mean? They survived the scare. It took them a long time to even score points out here, bro. So take a look at the score summary, man. USC blinked all in the second half. They blinked Oregon in the second quarter and the fourth. They put up 17 in the second half, 17 unanswered to win this ball game. All right, boys, so USC's Matt Pace had himself his Heisman moment with that last drive in the Pac-12 championship. He wins the Heisman, 3,300 passing yards, 507 on the ground, 45 total touchdowns. Michigan's quarterback was right behind him in second place. Take a look at the award winners. Tiger Booker from Michigan wins the Maxwell. He also wins the Walter Camp. Jason Charles wins the Bednarik, and the Gursey goes to Aaron Bell. The O'Brien goes to Matt Pace. Chris Simmons gets the Doak Walker. Reggie Gibson gets the Bolitnikov. The Mackey goes to Matt Brown. The Outland goes to David Taylor. Ralph Davis gets to Remington. The Lombardi goes to Ray Ingram. Best linebacker, Kyle Doucette. The Thorpe goes to Jason Charles. The Groza, Nick Martinez. The guy, Jamar Jones. Black punters, yes, sir. And then the best returner goes to Henry Red. Now, bowl season, here we are. Alabama, USC in the Natty. It's now Alabama's turn to get a chance to be the first team to win multiple Natties in this sim. They won in season number 2. Fiesta Bowl, Texas Pitt. North Carolina, Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. Sugar Bowl, Arkansas, Louisiana Tech. Rose Bowl, Wisconsin, Stanford. All right, man. So here we are, a home game for USC in the Rose Bowl. You know what I mean? All of LA is out here to support, you know what I mean, their native team, their home team. Alabama is in hostile territory, even in what's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, a neutral site game. USC is going to go ahead and kick first as they win the toss. And let's go ahead and see how things shake up here. Bama scores first. They get a stop on USC. USC gets the ball back and they score. Bama comes right back down and scores. USC ties the game up 14-all. Back and forth. End of the first half, USC scored 3. They get the ball again. They get stopped. Bama goes down and gets 3. Here we are going into the fourth quarter. 17-all. Let's see. USC is forced to punt. Let's go ahead and sim the next drive. Bama goes down and gets 7. 3:43 left. Fumble recovery. Bama gets the rock. This is a big time third down, 3rd and 6 here. They don't have great field position. It looks like Nick Saban and his staff is calling pretty safe play calling here. They are going to utilize some of this clock, you know what I mean, probably to get things under 2 minutes here before they snap the ball. And USC needs to stop. I probably wouldn't call a timeout if I got to stop here, but they kind of, you know what I mean, depends, you know what I mean, because they could take a lot of time out right before they punt. Look at them running out the clock properly on this game. Back to passes, Bama's quarterback. I see the angle route out of the backfield, and he hits the comeback route, nearly intercepted by USC, and they don't even need a timeout because the clock will stop. All right, boys, so USC and their quarterback needs another Heisman moment. Matt Pace has already did this once in this season in the Pac-12 championship. In the same situation here, he's back to pass. Bama rushes 4. He has all day to throw. He hits 80, who's actually going to get decent yards out of that after having to come back really hard to the ball. Bama rushes 4. He goes over the middle. Big drop by 80. Wow. All right, boys, here we go. 3rd and 4 for USC. Of course, there is 4-down territory. Will they be able to pick up this first down here? Matt Pace had some magic in him in the Pac-12 championship. The blitz gets in there as a screen. They love running these screens late, but this one is going to work. First down, USC breaks a tackle. Inside, I can't even tell what yard marker that is, but they got a good gain there. USC going to be saving some of these timeouts. 3 timeouts, minute left here. Matt Pace has a strong arm, man, so let's see what he can do. They're going to go to run, and that's a smart play call. Bama was all geared up for the pass, and they're going to take their first timeout. All right, boys, here we go. 2nd and 2 for USC here. Matt Pace in shotgun, running back to his left. He's got a 3 wide receiver set. He's got his tight end. I seen that zig route happening. Breaks the tackle down inside the red zone, and that's timeout number 2. All right, boys, 52 seconds left here. 1 timeout left for USC, and they are driving up and down the field here, man. Back to pass. Quick read. Big catch. That's a big-time catch. No huddle here for USC. Don't clock it. Why are they clocking it? I think they clocked the ball a little bit, you know, too much in this game for me personally. All right, boys, here we go. 3rd and 3. They're under center. Tight end in motion. Are they going to play it safe and keep it on the ground? No, they go to the air, pump fake. He's got his tight end over in the middle. Big time play by Alabama there. That's a drop, but I would have hit him early. He was open in the beginning of that route, but he waited a little bit too long. Does USC go for it to take the 3? I low-key, bro. Oh, wait. They can't take the 3. What the hell am I talking about? But here they are coming out in the offset eye once again. They like to pass out this formation. Dumb screen. Dumb screen. The computer makes some dumb play calls here down the stretch, bro. And Bama is going to be your first multinational champion here in this sim in the second to last season. They haven't been here since year 2, but they found a way to come back, keep fighting, keeping their heads down, and getting the job done. All right, take a look at these bowl results, bro. Notre Dame lost to Kent State. They down bad. Missouri beats the crap out of Oklahoma. Texas loses by 10 to Pitt. Nebraska beats North Carolina by 3. Arkansas beats Louisiana Tech. Wisconsin loses to Stanford. Marshall loses to Ohio State. And Iowa gets blown out by Florida. All right, boys. So here, before we get into the very last season, I just wanted to see who had the juice, who was still getting the top recruiting classes in the nation. We haven't did them in a few seasons just because I didn't find them that important. But here in the last season, I want to see like who's setting themselves up for success. And of course, a team we're going to be used to seeing, Bama, coming fresh off of a natty. They haven't really, had much success except for 2 seasons, but they're leading everybody. LSU, Nebraska, Georgia, Auburn, Michigan, Ohio State, Boise State with a top 10 class, Oklahoma, and North Carolina. All right, boys. Also, before we get ready to sim this very last season, let's take a look at who the top 25 is. Another thing we haven't done in a while, but again, I haven't felt like it's made the most sense to look at it. We got Bama, USC, Arkansas, LSU, Nebraska, Michigan, Texas, North Carolina, Iowa, Oregon, Stanford, Oklahoma State, BYU, BYU, Wisconsin, Penn State, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Southern Miss, Louisville, Nevada, Wyoming, Louisiana Tech, Boise State, and Navy. So the front runner for the Heisman preseason is going to be Georgia Tech's running back Chris Simmons, Neil Patton from Wisconsin, CJ Bradley from Oklahoma, Virginia Tech's Zach Dixon, and Louisville's Terrence Jamison. Let's take a look at what teams are set up for success over the next 4 years. This season, we already know who the top team is. They actually got Bama being #1 in the nation for the next 4 seasons. Who's going to be the teams after that? LSU's #2 the next year. Clemson, Oklahoma, Boise State, they're saying jumping up to 6. 2024, they got Boise State jumping up to 5. And then in 2025, they got BumSU being #2, Georgia, Ohio State, Auburn, Oklahoma, Iowa, LSU, Nebraska. So, some of the main culprits, they even got BYU being one of the top players in the nation coming forward. All right, boys, so we got a new blue blood school actually emerging here. Oklahoma, #1. They don't have a conference championship game. LSU, #2. They got to take on South Carolina. Wisconsin, Louisville, Mizzou, Michigan, Bama lost 3 games this year. Miami to U. Shout out to my guys. Arizona State and North Carolina. So I'm going to go out on a limb, right? And I'm going to say LSU isn't going to lose to South Carolina. So I'm going to sim this one straight up, right? I could be wrong. They narrowly escaped 23-21. South Carolina had to come from behind. They were getting their head cracked. But, in the end, it was not enough. Any other games matter here. Wisconsin Northwestern is a pretty big one. And Wisconsin is going to get the dub. Will they jump somebody? I don't know, because they have lost, and the one team in front of them has no losses. Oklahoma, I see Oklahoma staying at #1. At most, at best, dropping to #2. All right, boys. So Timothy Burks of Louisville is going to win the Heisman. He ran for 2,700 yards, bro. 22 touchdowns. Another touchdown through the air, 465 first place votes. It wasn't even close. You run for that many yards on 436 carries, you got it, boss. Award winners: Mike Curry wins the Maxwell. He also wins the Walter Camp. The Benedict goes to Paul Scott. Chris Washington wins the Nagurski. Danny Davis wins the O'Brien. Timothy Burks wins the Walker. The Biletnikoff goes to Sean Lee. The Mackey goes to Antoine Turner. The Outland goes to George Burley. The Remington goes to Will Wilson. The Lombardi goes to Billy Mathis. The best linebacker goes to John Hall. The Thorpe goes to Paul Scott. The Groza goes to Tyson Green. The Jim Stover wins the guy, and the best returner goes to USC's Matt Jones. Here in the final season of bowl games, the BCS National Championship, we got LSU taking on Oklahoma, 1 versus 2. Fiesta Bowl, Louisville, Louisiana Tech. Orange Bowl, Miami, Michigan. All-State Sugar Bowl, Missouri, North Carolina. Rose Bowl, Wisconsin versus Oregon. The final natty in the sim, back in the Fiesta Bowl here in Tempe, Arizona, man. This is going to be a good one. I believe this is Oklahoma and LSU's first time in this game. You know what I mean? And we're going to get to the sim and see what's cracking, but I want a good game that's going to come down to the last drive. I don't want a blowout. That's my main focus right now. All right, boys, here we are getting ready to sim through this game. We're going to go quarter by quarter, man. LSU strikes first. Oklahoma can't score. They get a stop though. End of the first quarter is going to be 7-0. LSU scores. They go up 14-0. Looks like I'm not going to get that non-blowout I was looking for. Oklahoma just cannot score. They're down 31-0. Go into the locker room 31-3. This game is pretty much over. Oklahoma's just playing for pride now at this point. They were the undefeated team. LSU actually had to win to get into this game, and nobody scores in the third quarter, but it's just one of them games where it doesn't really matter. Oklahoma finally goes down to get 7. LSU scores with ease. They get 3. Under 3 minutes left in this game. They had to punt. Let's go ahead and sim next possession. Oklahoma gets the ball one more time. They go ahead and score just to make things look good. And LSU is going to be your national champions here in the 11th and final season. We don't get to see the celebration, but 34-18 is your final score. The SEC reigns supreme in this one. All right, boys, at the end of the final season, let's take a look at who won their bowl games. Bowl results, we already know who won the Natty, but, you know, let's take a look at some of these other games. The Cotton Bowl, South Carolina lost to Kansas State. Louisville blanked out Louisiana Tech in the Fiesta Bowl. Miami got a dub versus Michigan in the Orange Bowl. Missouri lost by 1 to North Carolina in the Sugar Bowl. This one looks like it was an absolute classic. Mizzou scored a touchdown. Okay, so Mizzou was coming from behind, but they missed the extra point. They missed the extra point. They lost this game because they missed the extra point. That's tough. You know what I'm saying? UNC had to come from behind in this one. They scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth. Mizzou finally scored. That's crazy. Rose Bowl, Wisconsin beat the crap out of Oregon. Gator Bowl, Auburn lost to Nebraska by 2. Alabama beat Northwestern in the Capital One Bowl. In the Chick-fil-A Bowl, another bowl I like to check into, Georgia beat Clemson 37-14. Take a look and see if we broke any NCAA records throughout this whole entire sim. Individual receptions in a game. Boston College's K. Horn had 29 catches in the game. That's the one individual game stat that was actually broken here throughout this sim. Team game. I can't tell if any of this happened throughout this whole entire sim because it kind of doesn't specify. Maybe it did. Individual season. Pylan passing touchdowns, 60 passing yards, almost 6,000. QBR Doherty out of Oklahoma with a 198 QBR. Spencer receiving yards 2,600, receptions 164. Burks with rushing yards 2,797. He almost ran for 2,800 yards after that bowl game. Individual career, Sykes had the most passing touchdowns in NCAA history. Receiving yards in a career, 5,000 yards for Spencer. We already know he went absolutely stupid. And coaching career, none of these records were broken, but that's mainly because we just simply did not sim long enough to be able to go ahead and make those things happen. So we did rewrite history a little bit. And let's go over each and every Natty champion. I'm gonna pull it up on my screen. All right, boys. So on the screen, as you guys can see, we got Natties by year. The first year, Utah won a Natty. Year 2, Bama won a Natty. Year 3 was Louisville. Year 4 was Notre Dame. Year 5 was Florida. Year 6 was UGA. Year 7 was ECU. Year 8 was Texas. Year 9 was Georgia Tech. Year 10 was Bama again. And then year 11 was LSU. So the SEC won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 11 championships. Utah's the Mountain West. They won it. So, you know, they're in the Mountain West in this game. At least they won it. Louisville's in the Big East, I believe they won it. Notre Dame's independent. Texas is in the Big 12. ECU's in the Conference USA. Georgia Tech is in the ACC. So Bama, I guess you could say, is the winner of this sim, but the SEC definitely reigned supreme when it was all said and done. All right, boys, so another sim is in the books. Last time we reset college football back to 2002. This time we reset college football back to 2012, and we got some interesting results. This is the first one where no one team was just the absolute dominant force, and the last one out of like the 20 or 21 seasons, Ohio State won like 9 natties. So it was good to see some different ones. And we had a lot of parity in this sim, a lot of different teams in these natties. You know what I'm saying? Even though the SEC did determine a lot of what was going on in the national championships, it was good to see some group of 5 schools still find ways to come out here and get the job done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this sim, man. If you did, stop and smash that like button. Hit me up in the comment section below. Subscribe if you are new. It's your boy Uncle Sam's Reject, RKGames.com. I'm out of here. Peace.
Niggas want me to lose, but I can't. I've been stacking this shit to the ceiling. Know some niggas with bodies, and it ain't no probably. We never speak on them killers. Everybody on my block gon' get them some money. It's only a couple of drillers. I've been fucking them hoes, man. Them bitches ain't nobody.